A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Read what they say about Chesterfield in daily newspapers covering all 48 states. It's for you and for me.
A.
Always milder,
B.
better tasting,
C.
cooler smoking.
A, B, C.
Always by Chesterfield, they satisfy.
Smoke rings from smoke rings.
While a Chesterfield burns.
Chesterfield presents Author Godfrey Time. Yes, it's Author Godfrey and all the little Godfreys. The Mariners and Archie Blyer and his orchestra.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine, on the farm again, where men are men, broadcasting from the chicken pen, my songs are a hit with the sows, and I find that I tickle the cows as I sit reclining in Virginia on the tail in the lonesome pine. Hello, everybody. Happy bellyache to you. I got a letter from Mrs. Gerald R. Parrish of Washington, D.C. She says, you seem to enjoy in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia so much, I thought you'd like to hear some alternate lyrics, which I learned as a child. Arch, give me that intro again. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia stood a cow on the railroad track. She was a nice old cow with eyes so fine, but you can't expect a cow to read a railroad sign. So she stood in the middle of the track, and the train hit her right in the back. You'll find her horns in the mountains of Virginia, and her tail on the lonesome spine. Look, I won't have you kicking my favorite song around like that now. Doggone, that's a pretty song. It's, well, here it is the day after Thanksgiving, and I got a sort of a far-away feeling. Reason is I can't crowd up any closer to the mic. I'm sitting here like a hibernating bear, wearing my old purple pajamas, trying not to breathe. These pajamas used to fit me, too, but today I got a bare midriff. Speaking of which, who was it gave me this? Jill Warren, wasn't it? Yeah, Jill Warren gave me an ad out of the New Yorker just before she left for the West Coast. Maybe you saw this ad about tuck-away pajamas. Tuck-away pajamas. You can tuck your shirt inside your pants, you see. And it says it puts that daytime good looks into bedtime attire. It says no man, when dressed for bed, will ever match his wife's allure when she is similarly attired. But in these new, differently designed pajamas, he can preserve much of the civilized appearance that characterizes his daytime clothes. Do we really look so uncivilized in our pajamas, huh? It says, by hanging the sleeves of the jacket like those of a suit coat and cutting the trousers just like smart slacks, we avoid entirely the scarecrow shapelessness of ordinary pajamas with their bow-legged trousers and flour sack coats, and afford worthwhile dividends of comfort and self-respect. Heavenly days. All these years I've had no comfort, no self-respect. My. It's amazing what you learn as you grow older, ain't it? Well, how did you all enjoy Thanksgiving? You did all right, huh? Jeanette, did something finally come your way?
You know, yesterday after the show, there were so many nice telephone calls that came in, people asking me to have Thanksgiving dinner with them that I couldn't acknowledge them all. But I never thought that anything like that would happen when I said I didn't have anything to do.
That ain't what you said. You said you didn't have a beat-up thing to do.
Well, at that time, I didn't. But it turned out real fun.
That's what I thought. Yes. We had quite a party here, Archie said that the Thanksgiving party he went to last night was sort of nip and tuck all evening. Just took one nip and then tucked another. Well, down here, a fellow walked up to me at the party and said, "It's awful dull, ain't it? Let's go home." And I said, "It's dull, all right, but I can't go. I'm the host." So we sort of stuck around. We had stuffed olives here yesterday. You know what's a stuffed olive, don't you? It's a grape with a tail light. How about doing a little song for us, Jeanette, huh? Since you did so well yesterday. I heard you rehearsing a beautiful song. I want you to sing it specially for me. It's called "You're the Apple of My Eye, My Dear, and Rotten to the Core."
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet, they're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses at the bottom, I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better, and close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. Gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet, they're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses at the bottom, I'll be glad I got 'em. Gonna smile and say I hope you're feeling better, and close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you, and make believe it came from you.
Yes. Make believe it came from you. I would like to suggest that you do yourself just about the greatest smoking favor you can. Try Chesterfields today, my friend. There's no kidding you. You really will be doing yourself a smoking favor when you smoke Chesterfields. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you on account of why. Chesterfield always has the right combination of the world's best tobaccos. Always mild, ripe tobaccos for Chesterfield. That's why Chesterfields always give the 3 simple ABCs of smoking pleasure. A means always milder, B, better tasting, C, cooler smoking. And that's why Chesterfields really satisfy. So make your next pack a fresh white pack of Chesterfields, and you'll see what I'm telling you is true. Chesterfields really satisfy. And if you buy them by the carton, they're doubly satisfy. Hey, I got a very, very interesting letter from a Mr. E.J. Davis. Mr. Davis. That's an engineer in Chicago. Ain't no kin of yourn, is he, Jeanette?
No, my father's AC.
AC. Alternating current. This is Mr. E.J. Well, I thought maybe it could be Ken. He lives in Chicago. That's where you're going today, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
What time are you going to take off?
1:15 this afternoon. I'll get in at 4:05.
4:05.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have yourself a good time. You're going to get another Thanksgiving dinner, too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, marvelous. Well, this fella Davis, maybe you better look him up. He's an engineer out there, and he tells me his firm has developed a revolutionary machine for use in chicken houses. He says that in wintertime, most poultrymen keep the lights turned on in their chicken houses for a while before sunrise and after sundown. On account of chickens, they're used to putting in a 13-hour day in the summer, so it's really no extra strain for them. Now, the only trouble is, according to Mr. Davis, that when the hen house lights are suddenly turned out at night, the hens don't have time to get up on the roost. Then they fly up in the dark, and sometimes they conk their noggins doing it, and this impairs egg production. And it's confusing, too. See a chicken with an egg on its head, you can't tell which end is up. Well, now, this new machine will change all this. It's called an automatic sunrise and sunset duplicator, because it turns up the lights gradually, and then the hens wake up normally and start off the day feeling good. And at night, the hen house lights go off in 15 minutes of gradual dimming. This increases the output, according to Mr. Davis, and causes the eggs to be laid an hour earlier, same as I do when I'm on daylight saving time. I was going to get one of those new machines for my hen house, but I got a cheaper idea. I'll just get the band down here and have them play Let Yourself Go. Which reminds me, you boys have no doubt been working on a tune. How about a little thing called Sometimes I'm Happy? Very nice, boys, very nice. That was Archie Plyer and his boys. Cy Schaefer, the trombonist, went to a party last night dressed as a hula dancer. Somebody slipped a piece of ice down his back, and he won first prize, I hear. Got a note from a listener here. Says, Tuesday you said you wanted to do something new and different, and you came up with a mystery. Says, I have another suggestion. Sometime, why don't you try comedy? You dear boy. All of them which laughed up there gets docked. Me. I see a couple down in Statesville, North Carolina, just had their second set of triplets. Imagine that. 2 sets of triplets. Wonder whether they're boys or girls. News item doesn't say. I guess it doesn't matter, though. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Hey, listen. I I have some helpful hints that I'd like to pass on to you in case you're not getting this program properly. From an article by Doris Dennison in the American Weekly. Miss Dennison begins by asking, are you sure you're getting the best possible performance from your radio? If you can't hear a program distinctly, she says it's probably for a lot of good reasons. Well, all I know is that this program is distinct when it leaves here. And possibly, says Miss Dennison, you are overloading your speaker. Boy, there's nothing worse than a speaker overloaded, huh? Excessively high volume puts undue pressure on the speaker, she says, and will eventually cause it to rattle, and in some cases to break down completely. Yeah, I remember one case where somebody turned up the volume on John Reed King. The whole house caved in. Another thing Miss Dennison says, sound has a way of disappearing. Heavy drapes, upholstered chairs, soft fabrics absorb sound. Long-handled underwear does the same thing. So get the upholstered chairs and children and long-handled ones out of the room and mop up the drapes. And when you have a choice as to where to put your radio, put it where it'll do the most good and no cracks. And since there aren't any chairs and nothing in the room anymore, you've cleaned it all out, just tip the speaker toward the floor so it'll blare at the people. Miss Dennison closes with a tip on tubes. She says a radio will often function even with some of the tubes worn out, but the reception will certainly be less pleasant. So if anybody thinks that this program is more unpleasant than it used to be, don't tell me your troubles. Put in some new tube. Here are 4 lads who had a terrific Thanksgiving. They went to a party, too. When the hostess asked them to take off their masks, they had to confess they weren't wearing one. They've got quite a nice song for us, though. A very pretty song called When You Wore a Tulip and I Wore something, I forgot. Red Rose. Red Rose.
You wore a tulip, a sweet yellow tulip, and I wore a big red rose. When you caressed me, 'twas then heaven blessed me. What a blessing, no one knows. You made like Cheery when you called me dearie, 'twas down where the bluegrass grows. Your lips were sweeter than julep when you wore the tulip, and I wore a big red rose. I met you in a garden in an old Kentucky town. The sun was shining down. You wore a gingham gown. Time has not changed your loveliness. You're just as sweet to me. I can't forget the days that used to be. When you wore a tulip, a sweet yellow tulip, and I wore a big red rose. When you caressed me, 'twas then heaven blessed me. What a blessing, no one knows. You know that you made like Cheery when you called me dearie, 'twas down where the bluegrass grows. Your lips were sweeter than the julep when you wore a tulip, and I wore a big red
That's wonderful. Oh, me, that's wonderful. What was that? When the guy went before the judge over in Baltimore the other day, he didn't say anything. He just handed His Honor a piece of paper that read as follows. Judge, Your Honor, I'll ask you, please, to give me a chance on my bended knees. I was trying to help an unfortunate friend, and now my future on you, dear Judge, does depend. The judge didn't reply with a poem, but he did give the guy a sentence. 60 days. I'll bet a poem like that would have worked on the guy that handed me that fine for speeding over in Jersey that time. It was a poetic type of justice, if ever I saw one. Justice of the peace. I know just what he'd have said after he read that poem. He would have said, roses are red, violets are nifty. That'll be $27.50. And here is today's household hint from the New York Post. It is about ironing, so you'll want to try it next Tuesday. It says, make use of the iron's stored heat. Turn the dial to off before you're quite through and iron the little odd pieces which need little heat. That's the end of the hint. I suppose by little odd pieces they mean things like rumpled shoelaces, quilt patches, damp dry cleaner tags, that sort of thing. Incidentally, if you use old-fashioned flat irons, don't bother turning that dial off. It reminds me of the story of the vacuum cleaner salesman. You remember that story? He was given a home demonstration for a prospective customer. He hauled out a large paper bag and proceeded to scatter the contents all over the lady's beautiful living room rug. Mud, gook, dirt, anything, all kind of stuff in there. And he made an awful mess of it. And then he said, now, madam, I'll eat every bit of this stuff that this vacuum cleaner doesn't pick up. The lady turned and started out of the room, and the salesman said, where are you going? She says, I'm going to get the salt and pepper. You see, we don't have any electricity. Yeah, Thank you, Archie. I'm glad you got that one. Will you kindly explain it to the rest of the cast this afternoon? I have there's quite a song I wanted to do for you this morning. What the heck? I've forgotten the words. Now, if I can just forget the melody, it will save everybody a lot of grief, won't it? I tell you what, instead of that, let's have Jeanette Davis sing a beautiful thing called Solitude. In the Solitude.
In my solitude, you haunt me with reveries of days gone by. In my solitude, you taunt with memories that never, never die. I sit in my chair, I'm filled with despair. No one could feel so sad, with gloom everywhere. I sit and I stare. I know that I'll soon go mad in my solitude. I'm send back my love. I sit in my chair, I'm filled with despair. No one could be so sad, with gloom everywhere. I sit and I stare. I know that I'll soon go mad in my solitude. I'm praying, dear Lord above, send back my love.
Very, very nicely done, Jeanette. Thank you, honey. You go ahead now and get on your way to Chicago. Have a nice trip. See you Monday. Say, you've heard me speak of Cedric Adams, the columnist on the Minneapolis Star. Well, Cedric has discovered a new and unique movie theater out in Milton, North Dakota. This new movie is a theater at night, and during the day, it's an undertaker's establishment. Yeah. I bet you that's one place that nobody ever asked for a box seat. Personally, I think the combination ought to work out pretty swell, though. The way these movies have been lately, they could show one at night and then take it out and bury it the next morning, you know. Can't you just see the advertising on the marquee? See our sensational new comedy. It'll kill you, we hope. My gags would get all the biggest laughs on this show if it wasn't for the way Schaefer dresses, doggone it. Say, I have a letter here from, what'd you do, explain it to him, Arch? I don't know. Who knows what he wears? Well, I told you about what tobacco farmer Claude Whitehead had to say about the pleasure that comes from smoking Chesterfields, huh? There are thousands of smokers who smoke nothing but Chesterfields every single day. And there are some darn good reasons why so many smokers are satisfied with Chesterfields. Just like I tell you, Chesterfields always give you the right combination of the world's best tobaccos. Always the mild, ripe tobaccos for Chesterfield. And in the second place, this Chesterfield blend and these Chesterfield tobaccos always give you those ABCs. A, always milder. B, better tasting. C, cooler smoking. So why don't you try them today, huh? Do me a favor, will you? And you will do yourself a great service. Buy yourself a carton of Chesterfields today, and by the time you've finished them, you'll be a dyed-in-the-wool Chesterfield fan from now on. How about another song out of the Mariners? Got time, boys? Huh? Sure you have. Hurry up. Whiffenpoof song.
To the tables down at Maurice, to the place where Louis dwells, to the dear old temple bar we love so well. Sing, the whiffenpoofs assemble with their glasses raised on high, and the magic of their singing cast its spell. Yes, the magic of their singing, oh, the songs we love so well. Shall I wasting and the horning and the rest? We will serenade our Louis while life and voice shall last. Then we'll pass and be forgotten with the rest. We'll poor little lambs who have lost our way. Ba, ba, ba. We'll little black sheep who have gone astray. Ba, ba, ba. Gentlemen songsters off on the street, doomed from here to eternity. Lord, have mercy on such as we.
Day, will you? Take good care of yourselves. Be the good Lord willing, we'll see you again on Monday. This is Arthur Godfrey saying bye-bye for Chesterfield on CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Lum and Abner Show. With your old friends Zazu Pitts and Andy Devine, Case and starring Lums and Abner.
Say, Abner, are these groceries on the counter yours?
Yeah, Lum, don't let me forget to take them home neither. Elizabeth needs them for Thanksgiving. She's killing the turkey tonight, and I don't want to get her riled at me.
Well, Elizabeth's been riled at you before.
I know, but this time she's going to have an axe in her hand.
Abner, in all the time you've been married, Elizabeth's never lost her head.
Neither have I. I don't want to start now, neither. Just don't let me forget them groceries.
You still got a lot of them, I'll say that. You must be expecting an awful big crowd for dinner.
Yeah, my in-laws are coming. The thundering herd.
Oh, I hope they don't still push and shove to get in the dining room at mealtime.
Oh, no. I spoke to Elizabeth about that. She put a stop to it.
Good.
Now they use the T formation. When that bunch gets through with a turkey, it looks like a catcher's mask.
Well, at least you ain't going to be eating Thanksgiving dinner all alone like me.
Didn't you get any invites yet?
No, not a one.
Didn't you put on your usual hinting campaign all over town?
Well, I did drop a few little hints here and there.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it's a little early for the results yet. Still got to hear from the outlying precincts.
Lum Eddard, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Folks in this town have been having you to Thanksgiving dinner for years, and you've never invited a one of us to your place.
Well, now, Abner, I wanted to, but I don't know. Seems like something always keeps me from it.
Yeah, the price of turkey.
Ain't so. The trouble with you, Abner, is you ain't got the true Thanksgiving spirit. Even the Pilgrims invited the Indians for dinner.
Yeah, and the Indians at least brought along a few trinkets.
Well, just last Thanksgiving, I brought Elizabeth a box of candy.
I know. She busted her teeth biting into the prize.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, I don't mind if nobody cares about me. I'll get along somehow Thanksgiving. Take home a little old can of sardines or something.
Oh, well, now.
Oh, it's all right. Don't feel sorrowful for me. Guess I'll have to get used to being lonely. Nobody wants an old bachelor hanging around in the way.
Lum, now stop it. I can't stand to hear you talk that way. It'll spoil my Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't want to spoil your Thanksgiving just because all I'm going to have is a little old can of sardines.
Little can of sardines? Lum, I couldn't swallow a mouthful of food knowing that. Now, listen, old pal, will you promise me something?
Abner, I don't want charity.
But you want me to enjoy my dinner, don't you?
Well, since you put it that way, I'll do it, Abner.
This will change your whole Thanksgiving plan.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Well, what is it?
Get yourself a big can of sardines. Hello? Elizabeth? Honey, this is your man, Abner. Abner! Oh. Elizabeth, I know how you feel about this, but couldn't we have Lum over for Thanksgiving dinner just one more time? I know, but... well, Elizabeth, if somebody don't ask him, I'm afraid he's going to crack up. Hey, wait a minute. Here he comes back from the post office. Be quiet.
Howdy, Abner, old boy. I'd like to extend an invite to you and Mrs. Peabody to take Thanksgiving dinner with me at my home tomorrow.
Too late, Elizabeth. He's done cracked. Lum, what happened? What's the matter with you?
Well, nothing. What's the matter with you?
Well, it sounded to me like you invited me and Elizabeth to Thanksgiving dinner.
I did.
Well, I'll be a polka-dotted possum. What in the world made you do that?
Well, sir, I got a letter.
Oh, somebody threatened your life, huh?
Of course not. This letter's from my Aunt Clara, the one that's got the farm in Sheboygan Falls.
Bless her heart. Bless her little heart.
Now, listen, dear nephew, under separate cover, I am sending you one of my prize birds. I hope it brightens up your Thanksgiving. Love, Aunt Clara. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Well, good old Aunt Clara. giving you the bird all the way from Sheboygan Falls.
Oh, we're going to have some feast. She's known all over Wisconsin for the size of her livestock.
Well.
3 years hand-running, she won the blue ribbon at the Sheboygan Fair in the hog division.
Well, good for her. What does she do, rock or pull and chop?
Oh, this is wonderful. I'll show this bunch around here a few things. While I was out just now, I invited 15 people for Thanksgiving dinner.
15? Are you sure that turkey's going to be big enough?
Of course, I got a notice from the express company at the county seat. They got the crate over there. It weighs 35 pounds.
Lord, me alive, must be Port Ostrich.
I'm sending Opie Case after. I wish he'd hurry, too. That express office closes at 5:30.
Well, you know Opie. Slow but sure. That's old Opie.
Sure.
Yeah, sure to be slow.
Yeah, I better put Opie's name down on my invite list, too. Wonder what part of the turkey he likes.
Does it make any difference?
Sure. I'm doing this scientific.
Uh-oh.
None of that hit-or-miss business with me.
Here we go.
See, I drawed a picture of the turkey, and I subdivided it to look like a real estate development. I'm letting everybody stake out their claim.
What do you call this project? Gobbler's Gables?
Oh, it's going to save a lot of confusion.
Hell, I just hope nobody's homesteaded the wishbone yet.
When I invited the sea strumpses, I asked what part they wanted, and then I took a pin and stuck it in the picture. Now, there ain't no argument. See, that's Miss Sea Strump's neck.
There is a resemblance.
Miss Pomeroy wanted a turkey leg.
From the looks of it, she's got two of them already.
While we're on the subject, Abner, I better stake out a claim for you. Now, what would you like?
Well...
Now, here's a nice section with a lovely view. How about something overlooking the cranberry sauce? How about that?
Oh, no, you don't. No, sir.
Well, what's wrong with it? That's a nice southern exposure.
That's just it. I've been down that same neighborhood for the last 10 years. This year, I want something more centrally located. Mom, don't you think you're overdoing this inviting?
Quiet, Abner. All right, Miss Bates. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Abner, stick a pin in the white meat for Miss Bates and a wing for Gomer.
Right. Pin one on Miss Bates and wing old Gomer. Mom, if you invite anybody else, they'll have to be satisfied somewhere down there in that lower 40.
I can't wait to see this bird.
Me neither. I've never seen one with 8 wings, 12 legs, and 4 necks. You don't ever see monstrosities like that walking around. Hello? Well, hardly ever.
Opie, where have you been? I told you to hurry.
Well, I got stuck at the lunchroom helping Uncle Luke. You see, he's serving a special turkey dinner tomorrow. 50 cents. Of course, slightly higher with turkey.
Opie, I want you to get right over to the county seat and pick up my turkey I'm having for the big dinner tomorrow.
Oh, say, are you going to have plum pudding?
Well, I don't know yet, Opie.
Miss Bidball's best dish was plum pudding. Oh, boy. She used to make some kind of a sauce for it out of homemade brandy.
Yeah, well, Opie...
One night I seen old Earl put away 4 slices with a water chaser.
Opie, I'm in a hurry.
He lit a cigar after supper and blew a streak of blue flame clean across the room.
Doggies, I'd love to see that.
You ought to saw the surprised expression on Miss Bidball's face.
I'll bet.
She had it for weeks. Till her eyebrows grew back.
Opie, will you please take this express ticket and get on to the county seat? I've got to have that crate.
Okay, I'll hurry. I got Uncle Luke's truck outside.
Yeah, well, don't go too fast, Opie. You don't want to have an accident.
Oh, I won't. I've only had one bad accident since I've been driving. I run over Tom Foster's new hat.
Well, that ain't a bad accident.
Well, it was in this case. He was wearing it. Well, so long.
Now, hurry up, Opie. I forgot to invite Opie to the dinner. I want him to come, too.
He ought to come, too. He's been unconscious long enough.
It's the truth. Say, wait, ain't that Luke Spears heading in here?
Yeah, and he looks madder than a bee with a busted stinger.
Oh, there you are, lawmaker. Just stopping like a double-crossing excuse for a man.
Now, Luke.
Now, don't you Luke me. I'll teach you to hit me below the belt when my back's turned.
Here, Luke, simmer down. What are you so mad at Lum for?
I'll tell you why. He's been inviting everybody in town to Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, there ain't no log in it.
Well, there ought to be. Everybody's canceling reservations at my lunchroom. I was expecting 40, 50 people. Now I'm going to be stuck with a quart of soup.
Well, it ain't going to wait.
No? Well, maybe you ain't heard, but on these cold nights, water freezes.
Luke, forget about it. Why don't you close up the lunchroom tomorrow?
Oh, now you want me to close up and starve to death, huh? I get hungry enough when it's open. I have to eat there.
I'm inviting you to dinner at my house.
I don't know how you expect a poor varmint to... Oh, well, that's mighty neighborly.
I think nothing of it, Luke. Well, maybe you can give me the benefit of your cooking experience and help me fix the turkey.
Why, sure. I got a brand new recipe for stuffing that a famous chef over at the county seat prepared for his own dinner.
Granny, that's wonderful.
Oh, I used 12 onions, 2 pounds of garlic, 4 tablespoons of mustard, pint of Tabasco sauce, and 4 cans of red pepper.
Oh, Luke, surely you never put in 4 cans of red pepper.
He most certainly did.
Well, before we try it, you better call him up and ask him.
I can't call him now. They haven't caught him yet.
Granny's, Abner, it's nearly 8 o'clock. Opie's been gone nearly 5 hours. Wonder what's keeping him.
Well, Lum, I can't wait much longer. I got to get home. I don't want to eat a cold supper.
Oh, Elizabeth will make it hot for you.
I know it. I still don't want to eat a cold supper.
Wait a minute. I think that's Opie coming up out there in front right now.
I can't hardly see. It's so dark out there.
Yeah, it's him, all right. He's carrying a big, heavy crate in front of us.
Hiya, fellas.
It's Andy Devine, and that ain't no crate.
I saw the light on, and I wondered if anything was wrong.
Well, we're still waiting for Opie to get back from the county seat, Andy. He went after the bird for my dinner tomorrow.
Gosh, I hope nothing happens to him. I'm hardly eating a thing all day just so I'd have room in my stomach for turkey.
You've got enough room in there for turkey, Spain, and half of Russia.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I ain't so fat. Only this morning I weighed on them scales in the drugstore. See, here's a little card. Says 305 pounds.
What does the fortune on the other side of the card say?
No, I didn't look at it. Now, let me see. Oh, it says, please only weigh one person at a time.
Well, never mind, Andy. Tomorrow you can eat just as much as you like.
If Opie ever gets here with that turkey.
Don't say that, Abner. If anything happens to him, I'll be ruined. I've invited everybody in town. I'll be a social outcast.
You're more likely to be in the hospital. That hungry bunch will mob you.
Oh, this is the worst thing that ever happened. Where is Opie? Where could he be?
Well, why don't you answer the phone? Maybe that's him now.
Get out of my way.
Get out now. Go on.
Hello, John, I'm down store. Lametter's talking.
Lums, this is Opie.
Oh, thank goodness. Where are you?
In jail.
Jail?
He must have thought you sent him after a jailbird.
Opie, what are you doing in jail?
Well, nothing right now, but tomorrow I'm going to try out for the ball team.
No, Opie, what are you in for?
30 days.
No, I mean, what was you doing?
60 miles an hour. You told me to hurry, and the judge said $30 or 30 days. I ain't got no money.
I'll get the money to you. I've got to have that bird. Where is he now?
Oh, he's all right. He's sharing the same cell with me.
Well, look, Opie, can you get somebody there to bring him over here now?
Well, I don't think so, Lum. You see, he's got a charge against him, too.
Oh, no. What for?
Jailbreaking.
Jailbreaking?
Yeah, as soon as they locked us up in here, he tried to fly the coop.
Now here's Opie Case, his clarinet and his orchestra, and calling on clarinet.
Abner, what in the world can be keeping Opie now?
Maybe he's having trouble sawing his way through the bars.
Oh, he ain't in jail no more. I called up the judge this morning and told him I'd pay Opie's fine.
Law matters, do you mean to say you let Opie stay in jail all night?
Well, Abner, $30 is a lot of money to lay out. I had to sleep on it.
So you've been doing that for years. Why don't you put your money in a bank instead of keeping it in that mattress?
I don't keep my money in the mattress.
No. That thing looks like a lumpy Fort Knox. You can't change your sheets unless you get permission from the Federal Reserve.
Will you please?
Every morning when you get up, you got pictures of Abraham Lincoln all over your nightshirt.
Will you stop picking on me? Ain't I got enough trouble?
Oh,
here it is Thanksgiving. My guests are due to arrive any minute, and Opie ain't here with the turkey. If I ever get... Wait, maybe that's him. Hello? Lum Edwards resident speaking.
Hello, Lum?
Yeah, is that you, Opie?
No, this is number 7859274.
Well, you've got the wrong number.
That's my pen name.
Opie, cut out the foolishness. Where are you?
Over at Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill? What in the world did you stop over there for?
Well, I'm having engine trouble.
Oh, that's a fine thing to happen today.
Well, don't blame me. I didn't start it. The Pilgrims had engine trouble on Thanksgiving, too.
Well, get the engine fixed.
That's the whole trouble. I can't find it.
Can't find it?
Dropped out.
Oh, what did it take?
I didn't notice it till I started going uphill.
Opie, you've got to do something.
I did. I put an ad in the lost and found column of the paper. I ain't had any answer so far, though.
Oh, I'm going to have...
Maybe that's because the paper don't come out till Saturday.
What about the bird?
Oh, I asked him. He hasn't seen it.
Opie, don't you realize the spot I'm in? I've got to get that bird. My guests are going to arrive any minute.
Hey, Lum, somebody at the door.
Did you hear that, Opie? Somebody's at the door.
I wonder who it is.
Well, don't stand there. Answer it.
Okay, Lum. Hold the phone.
Opie, come back. Wait a minute. Well, like that, ring the ring. Abner, will you please see who's there? I'm waiting for Opie to come back.
Where'd he go?
To answer the door.
There ain't no sense in both of us answering.
No, he thought... Abner, will you just do what I tell you?
I'm going.
Hello, Opie. Opie, are you there?
Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Peabody.
Oh, well, Miss Fitz. Well, come in. Come right in.
Well, thank you. My goodness, where is everybody?
Well, they ain't here yet. You're the first to arrive.
Well, I came early so I could see Mr. Edwards alone. You know how I feel about him. He's my dream man. I don't know how many nights I haven't been able to sleep just thinking of him.
Now, I guess that would give a body the insomnia.
Oh, but does Mr. Edwards ever notice me? No. Why, sometimes I don't think he knows I'm alive.
Sometimes I ain't too sure about him either.
I've bought dozens of bars of that soap that's supposed to get you engaged. I wash my face with it 3 or 4 times a day, but nothing ever happens. I'm clean, but I'm lonely.
Yes, Mom, I see what you mean.
That dad-blamed Opie never did come back to the phone. I finally hung up. Well, Miss Pitts, I'm glad to see you.
Oh, Mr. Edwards. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you.
I was just telling Mr. Peabody that I came over early to help you with the turkey.
The turkey? Well, you see, that is...
Nothing's happened to it?
Oh, no, its engine just dropped out. I mean, I don't want you to worry your head about the dinner now, Miss Pitts.
Oh, but there must be something I can do to help. Set the table, dust the furniture, scrub the floor, paint the house.
No, I won't hear of it.
But if you'll just give me an apron.
No, Miss Pitts, I just wouldn't think of it.
Oh, dear me.
Miss Pitts, would you care to wash your face again?
Granny, now, who can that be? Excuse me just a minute. Hello?
Lum, this is Opie.
Opie, what now?
Well, I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah?
There wasn't nobody at that door.
Granny, it's 1 o'clock.
1? Well, the clock struck 6.
Oh, don't pay no attention to that thing. It's crazy. Struck 14 this morning. It's the latest I've slept in years.
Ain't Opie here yet?
No, he said on the phone that he was leaving right away, but that was 2 hours ago.
Well, don't forget he ain't got a motor in his truck, Lum. That'll slow him down a little.
He said he caught a ride on the phone.
Won't that receiver get a little uncomfortable?
That must be him at last. Yeah, hi, Opie.
Hi, Lum.
Randy, Luke, Miss Faye, Gomer, come on in, folks. Yeah, go right on in the living room, folks. Make yourselves at home. Yeah, they're all here, Abner. What am I going to do?
I don't know. Why don't you just tell them that you ain't got a turkey?
I can't do that. They'd kill me. It's stall till Opie gets here. Come on in the living room and help me keep the conversation going.
Oh, all right.
And for goodness sake, keep their minds off the subject of food. Well, folks, it's good to see you all.
Yeah.
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 Just glad you could all come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanksgiving sure is a day for Thanksgiving, ain't it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For goodness sake, Abner, say something.
Yeah. When do we eat, Lum?
Yeah. I'm so hungry I could chew the buttons right off the upholstery on this sofa.
So am I. Let's get at the food.
Now, wait a minute. Wait, we're going to eat in just a few minutes.
Oh, well, what's going on here?
Well, nothing, Andy, nothing. It's just that there's something we ought to do first.
Well, what is it?
I don't know, but something. Wait a minute, I've got it. The Pilgrim.
Oh, they can eat later. Come on, let's get...
Now, hold on. I've got a great idea. Why don't you all sit down there on the floor in a nice little circle, and I'll tell you the story of the Pilgrim.
If I'm going to go to all the trouble to get down on the floor, I'd rather hear Peter Rabbit.
Every Thanksgiving, we rush into the table and stuff ourselves with turkey. But this year, it's going to be different.
You ain't kidding, Buster.
This year, we're going to find out why we stuff ourselves.
You know why we stuff ourselves. We're hungry. Let's eat.
Simmer down, Luke. I'm surprised at you. You ain't got no respect for the first Thanksgiving dinner. I have.
Well, you ought to have. You was there.
Oh, now, quiet, Luke. Now, Lum's right. Now, go ahead and tell the story, Lum.
Thank you, Andy. Now, once upon a time, there was those pilgrims.
Well, that was very good, Lum. Now, let's eat.
I ain't finished yet.
Oh.
Once upon a time, there was these pilgrims. One day, they all got together to take an excursion on a boat they'd chartered. So, Columbus got Queen Isabella to hock her lavalier and buy him a ticket so she could go along and discover America.
Don't you? This is starting out better than Peter Rabbit.
Final, after 40 days and 40 nights, they landed.
Hooray! Hooray for them!
Old Columbus walked down the gangplank, rowed up the shore, unfurled the stars and stripes, planted it in the sand, and said, "This is the Bank of America."
Sounds a little overdrawn.
There they was, hungry and starving.
I know just how they felt.
They were surrounded by Indians. All the chiefs was there, even the super chief.
Why didn't they eat on the diner?
They couldn't afford it, Billy. You know how hard it is to get money out of England. Oh, the Pilgrims had a terrible time, all on account of the Indians. They'd build houses and the Indians would burn them down. They'd grow a nice head of hair and the Indians would scalp them. So one day they all got together at a town meeting and formed the CIO.
CIO? What's that?
The Control the Indians organization. So pretty soon they all got to be good friends, and to celebrate they all got some turkeys and had the first Thanksgiving dinner. Now, any questions?
Yeah. When do we eat?
Well, wait, let's discuss this a little bit.
Oh, no. Well, you said quick as you got done telling the story, we'd eat.
Hey, everybody, I just looked. There ain't no turkey.
What?
Now, wait a minute.
I just looked in the oven. It's as empty as a kangaroo's pouch on a hot night.
Why, Lum Edwards, you double-dealing varmint.
Now, hold on. I can explain everything.
I knew it was too good to be true, and a cheapskate like you invited us to a free dinner.
Now, Luke.
We ought to break every bone in his body.
Hello?
We ought to tar and feather him.
Hello?
We ought to ride him out of town on a rail.
Hello?
Get a rope. We'll string him up.
Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Opie. The day is saved. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I could kiss you, Opie.
Well, you better ask Uncle Luke first. He's my guardian.
Opie, quick. Where's the bird?
Oh, I got him. He's in a crate on the front porch.
Well, get out there and get him and bring him in here. Folks, get ready. We're going to have the biggest out-cappingest Thanksgiving dinner you've ever had. Miss Pitts, you set the table, and Andy, get the stuffing out of the icebox. Luke, get the root there. Abner, start a fire in the stove. Hot dog, everything's fine.
Okay, Lum, here it is. Here's your prize bird.
Huh? Oh, my goodness, is that it?
Yes, sir, that's it.
Strange, it's a canary.
Yeah, 35 pounds, including stand, cage, and blue ribbon. Lum, you oughtn't to have been so stubborn. You ought to went along with her. We had a good Thanksgiving dinner down there at Luke's lunchroom. What did you have? Lum, speak to me.
Love and Abner Show is back next week and every week at the same time with Andy Devine, James Pitt, Dick South, Houston of Open Cave, written by Betty Boyle.
From the heart of the jungle comes a savage cry of victory. This is Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. From the black core of dark Africa, land of enchantment, mystery, and violence, comes one of the most colorful figures of all time, transcribed from the immortal pen of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Tarzan, the bronzed white son of the jungle. And now, in the very words of Mr. Burroughs, the story of Hunter's Fury.
In the background, one could hear the trumpeting of an elephant, the howling of a hyena, the roar of a lion. And yet this was no tangled jungle, but a collection of concrete and steel buildings that made up the zoo of a modern American city. One of the buildings housed the administrative offices, and Douglas Hanley, a young assistant curator, occupied a tiny cubicle on the second floor. At the moment, he wore a look of pain and consternation, almost as though he were face to face with one of his savage charges. But actually, he was alone in his office, and he was merely talking on the telephone. Talking? Well, for the most part, he was listening.
Yes, dear. Yes, I know, but... No, but Esther, we can't afford it. No, we're overdrawn now. Well, I'll try to dig up the money somewhere, but... Hello? Hello?
She hung up on you, huh?
Riggs, where did you come from?
The door was open.
Well, that doesn't mean you can storm in here like you own the place.
Oh, take it easy, Doug. I didn't mean to intrude on some private matter between you and your wife. Door was open and...
I'm sorry. I guess it's just that Esther's got me on edge. She keeps forgetting about the size of my salary. She's got sort of fancy ideas.
Don't they all? Say, talking about fancy ideas, we finished building that stone archway for the special new polar bear cage. I thought you might like to okay it.
Well, I can't get over there for a while. I've got a sick panther cub I've got to take a look at. But incidentally, Riggs, it's not a cage. The man who's contracting the job ought to know that.
Well, I keep forgetting there's not an iron bar in the whole contraption. But it seems sort of automatic to call a place where you keep animals a cage.
If I had any, I'd put my own money into improving the quarters for all the animals. No iron bars, no concrete floors, no cages. Only natural barriers like pits or water to keep the animals on the inside from the animals on the outside.
Yeah. Well, this animal sure hopes they build 1 million of these fancy contraptions. I'm making a nice profit on the deal. I sure appreciate your putting the good word in for me.
Your bid was the lowest and your specifications were the best. There was no reason why I shouldn't have insisted on your getting the job, Riggs.
Now, Doug, I hope you won't take it wrong, but about that phone call I barged in on.
Yes?
Well, it looks like you're in a little hot water financially. I'd be glad to help you out with a couple of $100.
Thanks just the same, Riggs, but I'll manage somehow.
I heard you say you tried to dig up the money. Well, what's a good friend if he won't give you some dough?
Give me? No, I couldn't accept a gift. But, of course, a loan of about $200 would help me out of a tough spot.
Oh, that's more like it. I'll write you out a check. Then we'll walk down and take a look at that swell job you threw my way.
I'll meet you there right after I've taken a look at that sick panther cub.
Thousands of miles away, deep in the heart of the African jungle, at exactly the same moment, another man knelt by the side of an ailing panther cub. And while Tarzan poured healing herbs into the animal's wounds, Torgo, his small native friend, looked at him curiously.
Why you do that, Tarzan?
Well, the little fellow's mother is dead, Torgo, so she can't lick the wounds Bogani the gorilla inflicted. Unless we do something, he'll die.
Torgo know that. Not what he means.
You mean, why am I going to all this trouble to save his life?
Deal. Tarzan often kills Sheeta the panther. Why he not kill this one?
I've often told you, Torgo. I kill only when a jungle animal threatens my life or when I need food. Were I to kill every animal I encounter, the jungle would soon be completely empty of animals.
Tarzan kill every animal in jungle?
No. Oh, I have plenty of help. The members of your tribe kill many other tribes do likewise, and the white man who comes with his thunder stick and his traps, he's the worst of all.
Tarmangani bad.
Oh, no, not all white men are bad, but they don't realize that when they kill more than they need for food, when they fire at every living thing that crosses their path, they're destroying the jungle.
Destroy?
The animals furnish our food. We make clothing and shelter of their hides. Their skins are used for our sleeping mats, and they feed on the rodents and insects that prey on our fields. Once Africa's animals are gone, we too are doomed.
Animals gone soon?
Well, many kinds of animals are already extinct. That means that there are no more of them. That's why we must nurse sick animals back to health. And why we must fight the white men when they come to kill.
The panther cub Tarzan nursed was soon healthy and strong again. And so was the cub Douglas Hanley had nursed. But the troubles of civilized life are more complex than those of the jungle. And now Douglas Hanley was faced with a serious threat. It was in the form of his friend, Herbert Riggs.
Did you see that newspaper article about the animals?
I gave the reporter the information.
Then it's true that an African elephant's worth $6,000, that a giraffe brings $4,000, a hippopotamus is worth $5,000, and that a white rhinoceros is good for 15 G's?
Of course it's true. Good specimens are almost unobtainable these days.
You know all about animals, don't you, Doug?
Well, it's been my life's work.
And you stand in with these zoo officials. They'd contract for any animals you'd bring back.
That I'd bring back? I'm not a hunter, Riggs.
Yeah, I know. You and I are going to Africa.
Oh, but that's ridiculous. We're not...
Well, it ain't ridiculous to me. There's $1 million in the racket, and you ain't turning me down.
I'd like to oblige you, but my work's here in the zoo.
And if you don't give me the okay on this deal, you won't have a job here.
What do you mean, Riggs?
Just this. I got a canceled check I made out to you for $200.
But I paid you back.
In cash. And you didn't get a receipt. If I should give my version, you didn't pay it back. You got me that job building the polar bear contraption. And that was your rake off.
Why, you...
Now, easy.
I suppose it would look like that.
We'll contact every other zoo in the country, too. We'll supply them all. When we get back home, there won't be an animal left in the African jungle.
In just a moment, we'll continue with our story of Hunter's Fury. Many months had passed since Tarzan had nursed the panther cub back to health, and he was on his way to the Punya village once again. He traveled rapidly through the upper level of jungle growth, And at his side, leaping from branch to branch, was Nakima, the tiny monkey, who looked upon Tarzan as a god. From time to time, Nakima scurried off on expeditions of his own. And now, as Tarzan dropped from a tree inside the boma of the Punya kraal, the chattering monkey scampered away.
Jumbo, Maboki.
Jumbo, Tarzan. Why Manu run away?
Oh, he distrusts men. The only reason he accepts me is that he thinks I'm half monkey.
Is right for animals distrust men, for men distrust animals. Not right other way.
What are you getting at?
Tarzan, remember Panther cub he saved after Borgani, the gorilla, killed Panther's mama?
Of course.
When Tarzan leave Punya village, boy Torgo keep on like nurse to Panther.
Oh, I can see nothing wrong in that. I'm happy that Torgo's begun to realize that animals can be our friends as well as our enemies.
Panther and Torgo too much good friends now. Everywhere Torgo walk, Panther come. Now Panther grow large, is dangerous. Already he claw Mama Nagama. Not want Torgo's own mama touch him.
Oh, I'll see what I can do about that jealous panther.
Nadio, Tarzan do something. For Sheeta, the panther, kill someone of tribe.
But, Torgo, can't you see that he is dangerous? He's even snarling at me.
Not do anything if Torgo tell him not to.
Well, perhaps you're right, but I
He's right. Watch. Sheeta, not make noise. Quiet. Now, Sheeta, sit down.
Well, you do seem to have him well trained.
Now, lie down, Sheeta.
Well, that's wonderful. You've done a marvelous job of training him, Torgo. But I'm told that he permits no one else to come near him, nor you, that he scratched Mama Nagama very badly.
Yes, but that 'cause Torgo left him alone. Not leave him again. Sheeta not hurt anyone when Torgo with him.
But you can't be with him night and day, and a grown panther is after...
Tarzan!
I'm inside the Hema. Come in, Maboki.
Maboki, tell Chief Tarzan is here. And Chief says he's...
Watch out, Maboki! Watch out!
No, Sheeta! No, stop, Sheeta! Not hurt Maboki! Good, Sheeta. He do what Torgo say.
Torgo, I have tried to reason with you, but I'm through with words. Anyone who'd seen Sheeta leap at Maboki as he came through the door would know that he's not a safe pet to keep in a village. Now, Torgo, you may keep him with you tonight, but in the morning I must take him deep into the jungle and set him free.
Oh, no, not take Sheeta. Not take a friend of Torgo. Not take my Sheeta from me.
That night, when Tarzan and the people of Punya were asleep, Torgo fastened a slender rope of twisted vine around the neck of his pet and crept from the village. But when the two strange traveling companions had reached the tall grass and the dense undergrowth of Sheeta's birthplace, the animal lost all vestiges of domesticity. With a deep roar, he broke from Torgo. The slender rope snapped and the magnificent beast plunged into the jungle night, with Torgo attempting vainly to follow. And a few miles away, a safari led by two white men plodded through the Congo night with the aid of flaming torches and trained guides. Douglas Hanley and Herbert Riggs were hunting for animals to take back to the zoos of America.
Hey, you! Keep moving! You're getting paid enough to set a decent pace.
I wouldn't shout at our guides, Riggs. We're pretty dependent on them. Besides, shouting's apt to frighten away any animals.
How about those torches? Won't they frighten them?
I don't think so. The jungle animals, like men, are curious. I think they may come to investigate the bright light. Say, this little ravine here might be a good place to stop and spread the nets.
Okay. Hey, you! Our expert says this is a good place to start.
If we can mark off a small area and then take the nets and suspend them from the edge of the...
Panther! Give me my gun, Doug.
It's a magnificent specimen. Maybe we can capture it.
I'm not taking any chances. My gun. Here. I used to be a good shot. Now I can hold my arm steady, get a bead on him.
Not Sheeta. Not shoot him, white man.
Hold it. You'll hit the boy. So I hit him. I'm not risking
my... No, Sheeta. Not make noise. Quiet. Good, Sheeta. Now, sit. Good. Now, lie down.
Hey, get that.
It's amazing.
Lead the panther to this cage over here, little boy.
No, not put Sheeta in cage.
Now, just until we've had a chance to talk for a few minutes. We'll let him out later.
Sure?
Yeah, sure. That's the fella. Right in here now.
Go in cage, Sheeta.
You
White
know,
man let you out later.
There's a kid that can handle animals the way he can. Why, he'll be a big asset for us. He'll be right handy to have around the camp.
White man keep Torgo with them?
Well, say, looks like he goes for that deal.
You mean you'd like to stay with us?
The deal. Torgo stay with white men. If man called Tarzan come look for Torgo, you tell him you not see him.
Torgo, why are you afraid of this Tarzan?
He want to take my panther and set him free.
Oh, one of those birds who's against capturing animals, huh? Well, don't worry, Torgo. We won't tell him you're here. And if he starts trying to set the animals we capture free, he'll get more than he bargained for.
The white men had made camp, and Torgo was fast asleep in one of the tents, even before the hunters had spread their nets of steel-like cord and taken their sentry posts. In the darkness of the Congo night, a deceptive calm descended upon the encampment. But in the village of the Punye, all was confusion. Torgo's absence had been discovered. Tarzan took to the trees, following Torgo's spoor, and as he traveled through the upper level, Nakima the monkey joined in the pursuit, dancing ahead, chattering furiously. Suddenly, Nakima screamed. He had been caught in a giant net. Tarzan leaped to the aid of the small monkey, and he, too, was soon enmeshed in the steel-like nets of the white men.
I wouldn't fight those nets, Jungle Man.
What?
We had them specially designed. The more you fight them, the tighter grip they get.
So, you're responsible for these nets. You're a hunter who has come to rob the jungle of its animals, huh?
Rob's an ugly word, and you're not in any position to start insulting people.
Why are you raising that gun to your shoulder?
We've been expecting you. You're Tarzan, ain't you?
Yes, but
yeah. And you don't like the idea of people capturing animals, huh? Well, this gun will guarantee we won't have any interference from you.
In just a moment, the exciting conclusion of Hunter's Fury.
In the name of heaven, Riggs, put that gun down.
This is my business.
And mine. Up until now, I've taken all your orders, but I'm not going to stand by and see you commit murder.
All right, Doug, I won't shoot him. But I can tell you this. We ain't setting him free. You, drag that heavy cage over here. Put it right under this tree. That's it. Right here. Now open the top and I'll drop our two prisoners in.
Hey, Riggs, the monkey slipped through the bars.
Yeah? Well, monkeys don't bring much anyway. And Tarzan won't slip through.
But he's got his knife arm free now.
When he can't cut through those bars, you can bet your life on that. Well, I'm turning in now, Doug. You keep a watch over him. And if he escapes, you'll answer with your life. Pleasant dreams, Tarzan.
I heard the other man call you Doug, and you call him Riggs, huh?
That's right.
You seem strange, partners.
Yeah, I guess we do.
You don't seem like a man who hates animals enough to want to capture them and keep them behind bars for the rest of their lives.
I don't approve of bars and cages at all. But I think a number of animals should be taken back to civilization.
Why?
Well, I don't believe a child's education is really complete unless he's seen an elephant, a mother kangaroo with her young, a few-day-old zebra running about, fending for itself.
You talk about animals as though you loved them.
I do.
I've seldom met white men with that feeling.
You speak as though you weren't a white man.
Oh, I'm white, all right, but sometimes the actions of men like Riggs make me ashamed of my race. Why do you take his orders?
Well, that's sort of a personal matter.
It's obvious that you're afraid of him.
Yes, I am.
If you were to set me free, I'd guarantee he'd not harm you.
I can't set you free, Tarzan.
I've never pled for my own life, but when I was caught in your nets, I was searching for a small native boy by the name of Torgo. He ran away from his home, and he may be in great danger somewhere in the jungle.
Torgo's safe. He's
what?
asleep in a tent on the far edge of the camp.
Torgo's here? Does Riggs intend to take him home as a zoo specimen also?
I don't know what Riggs intends to do, but I guess I'll have to go along with whatever he plans.
Well, Doug, how are things coming?
Everything's repacked and ready. The safari will be ready to move along in a couple of minutes. What did you do with the boy?
I bought him some breakfast into his tent for him. then send him ahead with one of the porters. I don't want to take any chance on his seeing Tarzan.
Just what do you intend to do with Tarzan?
We're just going to leave him here. We can spare that one cage.
But why, snakes can get in, or scorpions. Or even if they don't, he'll starve to death.
Maybe you think I ought to let him loose so he can mess up our whole expedition.
But you can't leave him.
I came here for animals. They're worth a fortune, and I intend having them. I'm going to fill every one of those cages. And I'm leaving that last big one for the white rhino. $15,000. 15 grand. And I should let that jungle man free. Ha! Come on. Let's get rolling.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Tarzan.
Well, Nikima, you decided to come back and visit me in my cage, huh? Well, you brought me some fruit. It was very kind, very intelligent of you. Well, I'm afraid I can't live long on the food you'll be able to carry to me. If you could bring me a file so I could... Wait a minute. Nikima, do you see that stone over there? Dan Yeland? Get it for me, Nikima. Get me that stone.
It took quite a bit of coaxing, but at last Nikima fetched the stone. It was too soft to make any impression on the bars. Later, Nikima fetched a second and a third stone, but they crumbled at the first touch. Not until the evening of the second day did the monkey bring a stone that was hard enough to serve as a crude file. And even then, it fit in slowly, painfully so. Nikima watched his guard with animal curiosity, and then he too began to file away, imitating Tarzan monkey fashion. Nikima began to chatter happily, but Tarzan knew that it might be days or even weeks until he could free himself and follow the trail of Torgo and the hunters. And in the meantime, the safari moved further and further along the Congo Trail. Weeks passed, and fortune seemed to smile on the ambitions of Herbert Riggs.
Well, there's another elephant to take back. See that he's staked down well.
He won't get away. Nothing gets away from us.
Yeah, you said it. Look at them all. Each one just a nice fat deposit in the bank.
Why, Red? Now all but last cage filled.
Oh, so?
You say last cage for white rhino.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you've been a big help tracking down that game, Torgo.
You promised if I help you let Sheeta out of cage.
Yeah, he's a good specimen. We're keeping him. But you can scram.
Riggs, we're not turning that boy loose in this wilderness.
Oh, ain't we? As soon as we got our white rhino, we're heading back, and I'm not being held up acting as a nursemaid for any... Hey, what's he saying? What's all the excitement about?
Let's see white rhino in riverbed.
I see him, and I can shoot him from here.
But you want to capture him.
He'll get away if I don't shoot. But if I can plug him in the leg, it'll slow him down. Now, get out of my way. I've got him. Now, get in there after him. Get in and tie him up.
He's badly wounded and he's dangerous. You can't expect the natives to risk their lives trying to tie him up.
Wait in there, I said. You, headman. Lead the rest of them.
Buko killer.
If you don't start out after him, I'll kill you. I'm not letting 15 grand slip out of my hand. Now get going.
No, not go.
All right, you asked for it.
Riggs, in the name of heaven.
Now the rest of you, hop to it or I'll give you the same.
Behind the frightened natives was a man mad with his elephant gun trained on them. And in front was a wounded and enraged rhinoceros. But even the roaring beast was less fearful than the now almost insane Riggs. They waded into the water, into the path of the charging rhino. Just when the death of a dozen of them seemed inevitable, a white savage leaped from the trees at the river's edge. His knife found the vulnerable spot between the soft folds of the rhino's belly, and the knife plunged again and again and again. Now Tarzan headed for the bank. But the weeks of privation and near fasting had taken their toll. He staggered uncertainly and fell to the ground.
All right, men. You can put Tarzan in the cage we had saved for the white rhino. And lock the boy in with his friend, the panther.
Riggs, you're insane.
Insane enough to kill you, too, if you try to interfere. Now do what I told you, men. Or I'll shoot you the way I did your head man. Every one of you, if I have to.
And so the safari started back towards civilization. But a small monkey had decided that he liked the game of filing iron bars. Only this time he worked under Torgo's supervision with a steel file he'd stolen from the safari's toolbox. Unnoticed by the crazed Riggs, he worked in the dead of night until finally several of the bars were almost cut through.
Torgo think maybe Sheeta can break through bars now, Nikima. Quiet, Nikima. Quiet, Sheeta. Good, Sheeta. Now, break through cage. Please, Sheeta. Understand, Torgo. Break through cage. Here. Right here. Good, Sheeta. Now we can find Tarzan's cage and then...
Hey, what's going on over here? I thought I heard... Get the panther off me! Save me,
Sheeta, come back! Sheeta! Sheeta!
What happened? I heard a panther roar. Riggs.
Sheeta killed bad man, then run away. Torgo not mean him to kill Guana Rag.
It's all right, Torgo. I know you would have stopped him if you could have. Not even Riggs deserved a death like that. Ah, but now there are other things to think about.
Free Tarzan.
Right, that's the first thing.
Well, now what, Doug?
I'll let you call the plays, Tarzan. And I know I don't deserve any consideration from you. If I hadn't been weak, I would have done something about Riggs.
Oh, weakness can't be overcome in an instant. But I hope you'll gain strength now.
I'm willing to free the animals, all of them.
Tarzan, Torgo wants his Sheeta back.
Torgo, Sheeta repaid us for saving his life when he was a cub, and now he's gone to join his own kind. And most of the animals you've captured, Doug, must also be free to join theirs. But I do think you should be permitted to take some of them back. A pair of each kind, perhaps, so that boys and girls everywhere, like Torgo, can learn to know and understand the animals of the jungle.
In just a moment, a preview of a very unusual story of Tarzan. Somewhere in the jungle, the drums beat ominously. Twins have been born to a native chief, and the tribesmen are scaring off the demons that have brought them. For more firmly implanted than any other superstitions are those surrounding accursed twins. And on their way into the jungle are two beautiful American girls, also twins, who are doomed to meet the strange consequences of these jungle superstitions.
Tarzan, a transcribed creation of the famous Edgar Rice Burroughs, is produced by Walter White, Jr., prepared for radio by Bud Lesser, with original music by Albert Glasser. This is a Commodore production. Listen to our next story, Trouble Comes in Pairs, another thrilling episode of The Lord of the Jungle.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, you know, makes Philadelphia brand cream cheese. The cream cheese that's been famous for quality since 1880. Delicious, creamy white Philadelphia brand is so popular, it outsells all other brands of cream cheese combined. Enjoy it often. Just be sure you get genuine Philadelphia brand when you buy. Look for the red Kraft K on the silvery package. Remember, there's only one Philadelphia brand cream cheese, and it's made by Kraft and guaranteed fresh. Well, it's the evening before Thanksgiving, and Summerfield, like many other places, is blanketed with snow. The Great Gildersleeve walked home through it as part of his training for his bout with old Tom Turkey tomorrow. And we might add that the water commissioner is in the pink of condition.
Hello, everybody. I'm home.
Oh, hello, Unky.
Well, Marjorie. Say, that's a tantalizing aroma coming from the kitchen.
Uh-huh. Bertie's cooking the turkey for tomorrow.
Good. I think I'll go back and take a look at it.
Now, Unky, don't start sampling it tonight.
No, I won't. That turkey isn't going to get the best of me this time. In fact, I plan to eat light. Light meat. Hello, Bertie.
Evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy, what are you doing over there by the oven?
Me? Leroy's watching the turkey, and I'm watching Leroy.
It's a good idea.
Unky's here now, Bertie. You better double the watch.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody stand back now. Bertie's going to baste it.
Unc, we got a 24-pound turkey.
Say, isn't he a whopper?
24 pounds and 5 of us to eat it. Oh, boy, that's nearly 5 pounds apiece.
Bronco and I may not be here for dinner, Unky. He's trying to get tickets for the football game tomorrow in Center City.
Oh, that's too bad. We'll miss you, my dear.
Well, you know how Bronco is about a football game.
Yeah. It was such a big dinner. And we ought to invite somebody to share it with us. Leroy, there's a pretty little girl staying at Mr. Bullard's.
You mean invite Babs?
Yeah, why not?
Yes, why not? The pretty little girl has a pretty mother, Unky.
Well, naturally, if we invite Babs, we should invite her mother. Yeah. Come along, Leroy. Let's slip on our overshoes.
Gee, it's keen having snow on Thanksgiving, Unc.
Yeah, makes things pretty cozy. Right, George, I'm glad I thought about asking Paula and Babs over.
What if Mr. Bullard won't let them come?
No, Leroy, Mr. Bullard doesn't boss everything. It's none of his business if his sister wants to spend Thanksgiving with friends.
Since when has Mr. Bullard considered you a friend?
My boy, it's Thanksgiving. It's the time when we should all be friends.
Okay. While you ring your friend's doorbell, I'll cover you with a snowball from behind this tree.
Careful, Leroy.
You sure make a good target against that porch light, Unc.
No, Leroy.
Turn sideways and I'll knock the ashes off your cigar.
Leroy, watch it. Oop, here it comes. Yopper. Bullard's window.
Run for it, Unc.
Leroy, you shouldn't run.
What's going on out there?
Guess I'd better run.
What are you kidding? Oh, it's you, Gildersleeve. A big fat kid.
Hello, Mr. Bullard.
Gildersleeve, did you break my window?
No, but I'll gladly pay for it. Leroy was aiming at me and missed, but I'll pay for it.
If he'll aim again at you and hit, I'll pay for it.
Now, Mr. Bullard, I'm sorry it happened. It was an accident.
Fortunately, it's just a pane out of the storm window. Gildersleeve, why did you come over in the first place?
Well, I came over to see if I couldn't take your sister and little Babs off your hands for Thanksgiving.
They're spending the holiday out of town.
Yeah? I didn't know Paula was planning a trip.
Should you have been consulted?
Well, no, not necessarily. But she might have said goodbye.
Now that you mention it, she did leave a message for you.
Yeah? What was it?
She said goodbye. So, goodbye.
Wait a minute. Mr. Bullard.
If you don't mind, I'll talk to you through the peephole. It's cold out there.
Well, about the broken window. You shouldn't pay for the pane.
Gildersleeve, I've been paying for a pane ever since you moved across the street.
Even on Thanksgiving, he's a hard man to like.
Unc, you mean I really don't have to pay for breaking his window?
No, Leroy.
You could take it out of my allowance. Say, a nickel a week? Every other week?
No, I'll take care of it, my boy.
Thanks, Unc. You're swell. I'm going up now and take my bath without even being sent.
Good boy. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone over to Bullard's anyway. You'll never set foot on his porch again. Yeah. Guess I will have to go over and pay him. Someday. Yeah, I'll put the money on a stick and poke it through the peephole so he can't bite my hand.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie.
Will Mr. Bullard's sister and little Babs be here for dinner tomorrow?
No, they're out of town, Bertie. Unless Mr. Bullard has them locked up in the attic.
Yes, sir. You fooling, ain't you?
Yes, I guess so.
Bertie already put their names in the pot. Too bad they can't be here. If Miss Marjorie and Mr. Bronco go to that football game, we're going to have more dinner than we know what to do with.
Well, Leroy and I will do our best by it.
Oh, I'm counting on you and Leroy to eat double. But we're loaded. Of course, a lot of people ain't going to have a big Thanksgiving.
Well, true, Bertie.
A lot of people just going to squeak by.
We're pretty lucky, Bertie.
Yes, sir. I've been thinking about that while I was basting that big turkey, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie?
You remember the little boy that wandered in here from the children's home last Halloween?
Oh, Mike Smith.
That's right. The little lost ghost.
Cute kid. Say, I wonder what kind of Thanksgiving dinner he's going to have.
Oh, you'll have a good dinner, but he may not have as much as we've got.
Bertie, after church in the morning, why don't I drive over and pick up little Mike?
Yes, sir. Now we're lining up a real Thanksgiving.
Yeah, come to think of it, Thanksgiving is no good if you don't share it.
That's what the Indians did. On the first Thanksgiving, they had a lot of food, and they shared it with the Pilgrims.
Well, the Indians have nothing on the water, Commissioner. The little Pilgrim will be the guest of Big Chief Running Water.
Yes, sir.
I'll get it.
Good evening, Judge.
Evening, Bertie.
Well, Judge, come in.
Hello, Gildy. I didn't want to be late for Thanksgiving dinner, so I thought I'd come and spend the night.
Well, we'd love to have you, Horace. But you told me you had an engagement.
As a matter of fact, I have. So I dropped by to bring a little sweetmeat for your festive board tomorrow.
Oh?
Here you are, Bertie.
Thank you, Judge. What's in this jar?
It's cranberry relish that I prepare myself.
You make cranberry relish, Judge?
Yes, indeed.
I didn't know you so handy around the kitchen.
Well, Bertie, I spend most of my idle hours on culinary experiments. I'm writing a cookbook.
Yofer.
I think it's nice the judge is so handy in the kitchen.
Thank you, Bertie.
Yes, sir. The judge is a handy man. He spends his working hours with the law book and his idle hours with the cookbook.
That's about it, Bertie.
Yes, sir, Mr. Gildersleeve. That's why the judge can come up with cranberry relish. He spends his working hours with the law book and his idle hours with the cookbook.
Yeah, I know, Bertie.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you know why the judge can come up with cranberry relish?
Yes, Bertie.
That's right. He spends his working hours with the law book and his idle hours with the cookbook.
Judge, you have quite an admirer in Bertie.
Well, the feeling is mutual, Gildy. I'm sorry I won't be here to sample Bertie's Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, Marjorie and Bronco may not be here either. But I'm inviting little Mike from the children's home.
Ah, the little fellow who was lost on Halloween.
Yeah, Mike's going to be our guest of honor.
Gildy, you're a shining example of the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Well, that's not all I planned to do. I went over to invite Mrs. Winthrop and Babs, but old Bullard said they were out of town.
Oh, so Rumson is spending Thanksgiving alone?
I didn't ask him, Judge. I don't care where he spends it.
Well, I know Rumson Bullard is difficult at times, but he's a lonely man.
I think he wants to be alone.
I'm not so sure, Gildy. Perhaps we just don't understand him.
I know I don't.
Be that as it may, at a time when the peoples of the world are divided, suspicious, and working at cross purposes, it seems the least we can do is set an example of amity and accord here at home. Chances are the world could achieve more harmony around the Thanksgiving table than around the conference table.
You're probably right, Judge. I hadn't looked at it that way. Right, George, I'll invite Bullard tomorrow. Well, it's nice of you to join us for dinner today, Mike.
It's nice of you to invite me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You will have a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't think to ask Mrs. Foster when I should bring you home.
Just take me back when I'm good and full.
Yeah, there's plenty to eat, all right. Bertie has a turkey almost as big as you are.
I don't know if I can eat that much.
Well, I'll help you.
You ought to be a big help.
I wonder how he meant that.
A lot of us kids are going out for dinner today.
You're good.
Boy, I like Thanksgiving. How many times a year does it come?
Well, only once, Mike. But Christmas will be here soon.
Yeah, that's when Santa Claus comes.
Yeah, I'll bet you get a lot of presents.
Yeah, Bobby's even getting a mother and father for Christmas.
You? Who's Bobby?
He's my friend.
Yeah, I see. Well, here we are. Remember this house?
This is where you found me when I got lost.
That's right.
I sure was dopey to get lost.
Well, if you had to get lost, we're glad you picked our house.
Thank you.
Oh, before we go in, Mike, let's go across the street and ask someone else to dinner.
Okay.
I'm going to invite the man who lives in this big house. He's all alone today.
But that big house, why is he all alone?
Well, Mike, you know how it is.
Do I?
Well, this man's a little difficult to understand. It seems he hasn't many friends.
Why?
Well, sometimes he isn't as nice to people as he could be. But we're going to be nice to him. You see, I feel sorry for Mr. Bullard.
Is that his name?
Yes, that's his name.
Oh, it's you, Gildersleeve.
Good morning, Mr. Bullard. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Mr. Bullard, I'd like you to meet a little friend of mine, Mike Smith.
Well, how do you do, young man?
Hello, Mr. Bullard.
Little Mike's from the children's home. He's having dinner with us.
Yeah, turkey.
Oh, splendid. I hope you enjoy your dinner, Mike.
Mr. Bullard?
Yes?
I'd like you to join us, if you will.
Me? Well, that's very thoughtful of you.
Well, Mr. Bullard, it's Thanksgiving, and you're all alone.
Yeah, and Mr. Gildersleeve says you don't have very many friends.
Oh?
Well, what I meant was...
For your information, Gildersleeve, I have countless friends. I'm having dinner today at my club.
Yeah, Mr. Bullard, let's not have another misunderstanding. I really wish you'd come with us.
Yeah, Mr. Gildersleeve feels sorry for you.
Oh, is that so? Gildersleeve, I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. You enjoy your dinner, I'll enjoy mine. Good day.
Mike, what are you going to do with a fellow like that?
Mrs. Foster would send him to bed without any dinner.
That's not a bad idea.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Want to make luscious, rich frostings and smooth, perfect fudge every time? Fudge and frostings that are bound to be perfect, that need no cooking? You can do it a brand new way, a way you've probably never thought of. You do it with Philadelphia brand cream cheese. That's right. Philadelphia brand cream cheese is the magic ingredient that makes fudge and frosting more delicious, more consistently perfect than ever before. Have a pencil and paper handy, and in just a minute I'll tell you where to write for your free pamphlet with more than 20 easy recipes for making wonderful fudge and frostings with Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Now, maybe you're thinking that fudge and frosting made with cream cheese would have a cheese flavor, but they don't. Wonderful Philadelphia brand cream cheese gives you fudge and frosting with a perfect, delicate, rich taste, because Philadelphia cream cheese is made with fine milk and thick cream. This fudge and frosting has a special freshness, too, because Philadelphia brand cream cheese is guaranteed fresh by Kraft. And Philadelphia brand gives fudge and frosting a truly marvelous texture, never grainy, never too hard, never too soft, but always smooth. Just be sure you use genuine Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Look for the red Kraft K that's on every silvery package of genuine Philadelphia brand. Remember, genuine Philadelphia brand cream cheese is made only by Kraft. Now, to get your free pamphlet with more than 20 easy recipes for Philly fudge and frostings, simply drop a postcard to Kraft Kitchen, Box 6567, Department G, Chicago 77, Illinois. That address again, Kraft Kitchen, Box 6567, Department G, Chicago 77, Illinois. Write tonight. Well, the Great Gildersleeve has caught the Thanksgiving spirit. He invited little Mike from the children's home. He even invited Big Bad Bullard to share his turkey, but Bullard insisted on not coming. Now it looks like there will be several empty places at the table.
Uncle Mort.
Yes, Marjorie?
I'm leaving now. Bronco got tickets for the football game.
Oh?
Uh-huh. He's down getting gas, and I'm going to meet him out front. We're a little late.
Well, sorry you can't be with us for dinner. But before you go, I want you to meet little Mike. Mike! Yo, Mike!
He's in here with me, testing the turkey, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You don't spoil his dinner, Bertie.
No, sir.
You better send him in. I want Marjorie to see him.
Who did you want to see me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Mike, this is my niece, Marjorie.
Hello, Mike.
Hello. What's a niece?
Well, in this case, she's somebody I'm uncle to.
Are you here for dinner, too?
Well, I live here, but I can't be here for dinner. You'll excuse me, won't you?
Well, I don't know.
She and her husband are going to a football game, Mike.
Would you rather see a football game than eat turkey?
No, but our college is playing.
Isn't anybody going to eat Thanksgiving dinner with us?
Well, Leroy will be here. He's over on the hill with his sled.
What about Mr. Bullard, Unky?
He expressed regrets. Bullard style.
He's all alone. You feel sorry for him.
You feel sorry for him.
Okay.
Oh, that's Bronco. Well, Mike, I'm awfully glad you came. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Marjorie.
Mike, it's just plain Marjorie.
But you've got a husband. That makes you Mrs.
Well, I'll still be Marjorie to you. Goodbye, Auntie.
Ta-ta, my dear.
What'll we do now, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, it's quite a while until dinner, and I'm out of cigars. Why don't we drop by Mr. Peavy's and then join Leroy for a sled ride?
Okay. Shall we go back and help Bertie taste the turkey before we go?
Well, I guess we could take a little sliver where it won't show. Hello, Peavy.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
I need some cigars, Peavy. I took a chance on your being open today.
Well, I'm closing in a little while. Your usual brand?
Yeah, that's right. Peavy, aren't you going to say hello to Mike?
Is he here?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see you down there below the counter. Hello, Mikey.
Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Here, Mike. Let me lift you up on one of these stools.
I can climb up.
He's having Thanksgiving dinner with us, Peavy.
Oh, you don't say. You care to have a soda on the house, Mike? No, I guess it did spoil your dinner. Huh?
You didn't give me a chance to answer.
Yeah, you better save up. We have a big dinner to take care of.
There aren't many people eating with Mr. Gildersleeve and me.
Well, Marjorie and Bronco are going to the game over in Center City, Peavy.
Well, if it was 40 years ago, I'd go out there and sit in the snow myself.
Mr. Gildersleeve, can I whisper something?
Well, excuse us, Peavy.
Very well.
What is it?
Why don't we ask Mr. Peavy over for dinner?
Well, that's a nice thought. I'm sure his dinner's all planned, but why don't you ask him?
Okay. Mr. Peavy?
Oh, am I included now?
Yes. Would you like to come over and help us eat our turkey?
Well, I'll be eating at home, Mike, but thank you just the same.
That's all right. I thought you might be lonesome.
Mike, Mr. Peavy has a wife at home. He doesn't get lonesome.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. Last Thanksgiving, I would have taken you up on the invitation.
Oh?
Just happened that I was alone. We'd planned on having a turkey, but Mrs. Peavy went to visit her mother instead.
Wish she'd visit her mother again this year.
How's that?
So you'd be lonesome enough to eat with us.
Peavy, Mike is bound and determined to fill every place at the table.
Hey, isn't that Mr. Bullard parking the big car out front?
Yes, it is.
He's coming in here.
He's still alone. Why don't we give him another chance to eat with us?
No, Mike.
Maybe he wants to be coaxed. I do sometimes. I even get under the bed and won't come out.
Well, all right. Just for you, Mike, I'll ask him once more.
How do you do, Peavy?
Oh, hello, Mr. Bullard.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Bullard.
Oh, hello.
What a cold fish.
Go ahead, Mr. Gildersleeve. Ask him.
Ask me what?
Mr. Bullard, if you'd care to reconsider, the invitation to dinner is still good.
Thank you, Gildersleeve, but I have plans of my own.
Well, we'd love to have you come to our house.
Gildersleeve, stop nagging at me to come to your house.
All right.
You have your dinner, and I'll have my party at the club. Oh, Peavy, I want 5 pounds of your best after-dinner mince.
My. 5 pounds? You must be having a big party.
Oh, yes, I am. Thanksgiving is a day to gather your friends around you. And although I may not be considered popular by one of my neighbors, I have many friends. Peavy, make that 10 pounds of mint.
10 pounds? I'm glad I opened up today.
Stuffed shirt. Must be inviting his whole club.
How much will that be, Peavy?
Well, it comes to $7, but of course it's a lot of mint.
You must not be having anything for dinner but mint.
Mike?
There you are, Peavy. These mints should be the crowning touch after my friends and I enjoy a hearty meal. We're having vichyssoise, a tossed green salad with anchovies, roast pheasant, golden pheasant.
You might.
Wild rice, of course, candied yams, and for dessert, flaming plum pudding.
Sounds mighty good.
Mr. Gildersleeve, maybe he'd invite us to his dinner.
Right, come with me. We have to pick up Leroy.
Thanks for picking me up, Unc.
Well, it'll soon be time for turkey.
Boy, did I work up an appetite sliding on the hill.
I'm hungry, too.
Me too. 3 of us will have a fine time.
Isn't Mr. Bullard coming?
No, Bullard's invited a lot of people out to his club for a fancy dinner. Vichyssoise.
Leroy, it was nice of you to take me down on the hill on your sled.
Oh, that's okay. Forget it.
I like you, Leroy.
You do? Why?
I don't know. I guess it's like Mrs. Foster says. She says little boys always want to be like big boys.
Well, I am getting pretty big, I guess.
Mike, someday you'll be as big as Leroy.
I don't know if I'll ever get that big.
You know, Mike, I sort of like you, too.
Thank you. Hey, we're coming close to where I live.
Yeah, that's your home, my boy.
Hey, Unc, stop the car.
Why, Leroy?
Just stop the car.
Well, you all right?
Why are we stopping here? I haven't had dinner yet.
Yes, Leroy, why are we stopping?
Unc, could we get some more little kids like Mike and take them home to dinner?
Leroy, that's a wonderful idea.
Oh, boy. Leroy, can I go in and see who's there?
Sure. Can't he, Unc?
You bet. Run on in, Mike, and round up a carful. We'll wait.
Oh, boy, I've been wanting to invite somebody.
What a fine little fellow.
Yeah, he's okay.
And Leroy.
Yeah?
There's another fine fellow sitting right next to me.
Oh, heck. Gosh. Gee, Unc, that's the way to have Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Invite people to dinner who'll appreciate it. To heck with Bullard. Let him have his big dinner with all his fine friends.
Hey, Mr. Gildersleeve, Leroy.
Yeah, I didn't expect you back so soon, Mike.
Where are all the kids, Mike?
They've all gone out.
They have?
But do you know who's sitting in there with no place to go?
Who?
Mr. Bullard.
Mr. Bullard?
Come on out, Mr. Bullard. They know you're in there.
Well, what do you know?
Imagine that. Hello, Mr. Bullard.
Oh, hello, Gildersleeve. Leroy.
Hi.
Mr. Bullard, you're the last man I expected to see here.
Oh, well, I thought I'd come over and take some of the children to dinner. You're not the only one who can entertain friends. And, well, good day. I think I'll take my mints and go home.
You, wait a minute. Mr. Bullard.
Yes?
I thought you were going to have a big party at your club.
Well, I intended to, Gildersleeve, but a lot of pushy people like you have taken all the children.
Well, we didn't get our share. There's room for one more.
You mean...
Yeah, how many times do we have to ask you?
Well,
come on, Mr. Bullard. I'll get in the back seat with you.
All right. Thank you, Leroy. Thank you.
Right, George Bullard, this is a fine idea. I'm so glad you're going to be with us.
Thank you, Gildersleeve.
Don't cry, Mr. Bullard. You have more friends than you thought you had.
Yes, sir. There's something about Thanksgiving.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Have you tasted the two delicious new versions of Philadelphia brand cream cheese? Now you can get delicately rich Philadelphia cream cheese filled with spicy bits of chives, and Philadelphia cream cheese with pieces of red pimento all through. Imagine the delicious variety of easy snacks and sandwiches you can make with these two new kinds of Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Try them tomorrow. Just be sure you get genuine Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Remember, there's only one Philadelphia brand, and it's made and guaranteed fresh by Kraft.
This is Gildersleeve again. Thanksgiving is a holiday we Americans cherish. It's a part of our national tradition. And more than that, it shows how our way of life in this country has always been linked so closely with religion. These days, I think we all realize how important it is that we strengthen our faith for ourselves and our children. Take someone to church this week. You'll both be richer for it. Good night.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Gail Gordon, Tommy Reddig, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of those famous Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
In a sandwich, what do you like best? Say in a cold beef sandwich, a cheese sandwich, egg salad, salami, what do you like best? Well, if you've ever tried it, I bet you'll say Kraft's Prepared Mustard. Because when you add a little Kraft mustard, you add a lot of tang. In fact, there are two kinds of Kraft mustard. Salad mustard, mild and delicately spiced, and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both kinds on hand. And remember, the next time you make a sandwich, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Buy Kraft's Prepared Mustard.
Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life. He's next on NBC.
Good evening. The makers of the new Rinso bring you the Amos and Andy Show with their guest tonight, the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer star currently appearing in Heavenly Body, Miss Spring Byington. Andrew H. Brown rarely has anything to look forward to. However, this happens to be one of those occasions when he can hardly wait for the day to arrive. His nephew, Jimmy, a member of the armed forces, is coming to New York to spend his furlough with his Uncle Andy. At the moment, the proud uncle is in his office reading Jimmy's letter to Andy.
Listen to this part of the letter, Amos.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
He say here, and so I will arrive in New York sometime Thanksgiving morning and will come right to your place. I sure will be happy to see you, Uncle Andy. Give my regards to your friend Amos, your loving nephew, Jimmy.
Oh, that's great. He's coming up to New York for Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, that's nice, Andy.
Yeah, and look here. He done sent me his picture here in his uniform.
Oh, let me see that. Boy, he's certainly good looking, all right.
Sure is. Everybody say he looks exactly like me.
Tell me this, Andy. Is you going to give your nephew a nice Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, now, that's exactly what I want to talk to you about. I was pretty proud of that boy, Amos.
Oh, I know you is, Andy.
And now, look here. You see, I live in one room, and I ain't got no stove or nothing. I ain't got no way of cooking no big Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I know.
And I kind of hate to ask you this, but...
Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering if you would put on the dinner at your place. I'd buy the turkey and pay for everything. You see, Amos, it's just on account of my nephew. I'm kind of proud of him, and I want to do it right.
Oh, sure, Andy. Sure we'll do it.
Oh, that sure is nice of you, Amos. I really appreciate that. And I know Jimmy will, too. Yeah, I'm going to write him and tell him that we're going to have a big Thanksgiving dinner for him with turkey and everything.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Andy, Thanksgiving Day is a week from yesterday, and I hear that turkeys is pretty scarce.
Oh, I'll get one all right, Amos. Don't worry. The Kingfish say that he's going to take me over to see his butcher.
I thought the Kingfish and his butcher wasn't speaking to each other.
Well, they wasn't, but the Kingfish made up with him at the beginning of the turkey season.
Well, now, all you got to do, Andy, is to get the turkey, and me and Ruby will take care of everything else.
Oh, that's great. Put it there, son.
Well, hello there, boys. How is you?
Yeah.
Well, hello there, Kingfish. We're just talking about you.
Who you was, huh? Speaking of the loving Kingfish.
By the way, did you see the picture of Andy's nephew, Jimmy?
Yeah, look here. Here it is right here. He look pretty good, don't he? He's my nephew on my mama and papa's side.
Yeah, nice picture here. He's a private already, huh?
You know, Kingfish, Andy's nephew is coming up here for Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, and I want to get a turkey for him. Kingfish, I want you to take me over to your butcher like you said you would.
Oh, anytime at all, Brother Andy. Yeah, I'll go with you now.
Okay, that's good. By the way, do you know anything about how to pick out a good turkey, Kingfish?
Yeah, sure I do. Brother Andy, whenever I picks out a turkey, I always kind of feels around the legs there. That's important.
Tis, huh?
Oh, yeah, you take an athlete. Now, when he runs and exercises and all that stuff, he gets hard and tough. So the idea in picking out a turkey is to get one that has done led a lazy life.
Well, Kingfish, I got just one turkey left.
Yeah, let us take a look at it, Carl. It's for my friend here, Mr. Brown. He got a nephew coming home from the army on Thanksgiving, and he wants to get a nice tender bird.
Yeah. How much did that turkey weigh that you has got there, mister?
Oh, about 14 pounds. That's it right up there on that hook. Last one left.
Boy, that looked good, all right.
Put it down here on the counter, Carl, so I can examine it.
Yeah, sure will. Yeah, sir.
Yeah, now, let me see here. I want to feel around his legs here. Yeah. This turkey has done a lot of running, didn't he?
That's prime turkey, and the only one I got left. You're lucky to get it.
Yeah, I think I'll take it, Kingfish.
Now, wait a minute, Andy. Keep your big mouth shut. Wait just a minute. Don't let's rush into the thing. Let me feel the turkey's wings here. Done a lot of flying, too, didn't it, Carl?
To tell you the truth, Kingfish, I don't know. I just met the bird 3 days ago.
Well, I'm going to take it, Kingfish.
Andy, will you please wait a minute? I'm just trying to help you here. Turn the turkey over on the other side, will you, Carl?
Yeah.
You know, Andy, I don't like the shape of this turkey's back.
Look here, Kingfish. We ain't buying for its figure.
Yeah, Yeah, but all them things count.
Excuse me a second, boys. I want to go out in front and raise the awning up.
All right, Carl.
Listen, Kingfish.
Wait a minute. Come on down here, Andy, so we can talk. I don't want this other butcher down the other end to hear us.
Well, Kingfish, why can't I buy that turkey?
Now, look, Andy. Do whatever you want to do. It's your money. I just try to help you. I try to give you the benefit of my long turkey experiences.
It's a good turkey, though, ain't it?
Well, yeah, it's a good turkey, Andy, but I like to check and double-check the thing to make sure.
Well, Listen, if you think the turkey is all right, why is we hemming and hawing around here?
Listen, Andy, it's just like when a fella is figuring on marrying some gal. She might look nice and pretty and look good in clothes and all that stuff. At the same time, you want to get a look in her mouth to make sure that you ain't go run into $50 or $100 worth of dental work. We just want to make sure that we're getting a good turkey, too.
Well, I'm going to buy it, Kingfish.
Okay, then, and I don't think you can go wrong.
Say, Carl, I'll take that turkey.
All right, I'll put it on the scale. Hey, wait a minute. Say, Joe, what'd you do with that turkey that was right here?
Well, I just sold it to that man going out the door there.
Well,
Kingfish, what would you charge to stop helping me?
Well, I'm sorry you boys missed your chance of that turkey, but I guess Joe didn't know you was thinking about buying it.
Come on, Andy. We'll go to a good butcher shop. Listen, Carl, if this is the way that you want to treat an old customer that has paid up till last July, it's okay with me.
Sorry, gentlemen, we haven't had a turkey in here in 10 days. We got a mailing list a mile long.
No turkeys, huh?
Not a chance. We don't expect any more turkeys until after the first of the year, and maybe not then.
Turkeys? Are you kidding?
Yes, Henry, there just ain't a turkey for sale in the whole town.
Yes, I know. Mrs. Van Porter was saying at breakfast this morning that the turkey situation is cute. But I didn't know it was cute as that.
Yeah, well, I could have got one, but this part-time genius here, the Kingfish, helped me so much I didn't get it.
Considering the source of that remark, I'm going to disignore the whole thing.
Please, boys, please, let's not have no fights. After all, we is all civilized gentlemen, you know.
Come in, Lightning, come in.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Lightning.
I thought I'd find you fellas over here at Miss Andy's office. Miss Andy, this letter come for you over at the Lodge Hall, and I thought it might be something important.
Oh, thank you, Lightning. Well, it's from Jimmy.
Oh, it is, huh? What do we say, Andy?
Yes, what is in it?
Say, dear Uncle Andy, I don't have time to write much, but there is a buddy of mine here at camp who lives too far away to go home and visit his folks for Thanksgiving. I took the liberty of asking him to come up to New York with me and have Thanksgiving turkey dinner with us. I hope this will be okay with you. Your loving nephew, Jimmy. Well, fellas, I really got to get a turkey someplace. I ain't going to let them two boys down.
Yeah, sounds like they're counting on turkey already. Gee, Andy, I wish I'd known how to help you.
Yeah.
I wonder if there would be anything in getting a couple of chickens and tell your nephew that the turkeys is running small this year.
Well, another thing, I'd have to tell him that the turkey this year tastes like chickens, too.
Yeah, I guess you would.
Say, boys, I just had a thought here.
What was that, Henry?
Well, Andy, I wonder if there's any chance of you getting the priority on the turkey.
Priority?
Yes, I know that the Army has done took a lot of turkeys this year, which is as it should be. But it just occurred to me that as long as you was getting the turkey for your nephew and his friend, who was in the Army, you might be able to get a priority.
Mm-hmm. Say, yeah, that's worth trying. Where would I go?
Well, I know that there's a special priority board downtown that handles the unusual things like that. I has had occasion to go there myself. As for Miss Spring Byington.
Come on, Kingfish. We is going down there right now.
Did you wish to see me?
Is you Miss Spring Byington?
That's right. Can I help you?
Yes. Tell Miss Byington the whole story, Andy.
I'll start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. The reason we come down to the rationing boat here is on account of my nephew. You see, he's in the Army, and he's coming home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, isn't that nice? I was just saying to my husband this morning that I wish Harry, he's our nephew, was coming home for Thanksgiving. He's in a camp in the Middle West. But if it can't be, it can't be.
That's right. Now, what I want to explain to you...
On the other hand, Philip, that's my sister's son. He's stationed in Georgia. Oh, a lovely boy. He looks a lot like my sister Elaine.
Yeah, that's good, all right.
Go ahead, Andy. Tell Miss Byington what you want to tell her.
Yeah, I'll begin at the beginning. You see, my nephew is in the Army, and he's coming home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Isn't that nice?
Huh?
I know how happy you must be. You know, I have a nephew, too.
Yes, we know. He lives in the Middle West, and he can't get home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you know him?
And start at the beginning again, will you?
Well, this nephew and his buddy is coming home for Thanksgiving, and I want to give him a big dinner.
And we want you to help us if you can.
Why, of course I will. Now, I suggest that the first thing you do is to get a turkey.
That's what we want to see you about. You see, we ain't got no turkey.
Well, if I were you, I'd hurry up and get one. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I understand they're getting scarce.
We heard the same rumor.
Excuse me, Miss Byington, but we can get priorities here, can't we?
Oh, yes, indeed. That's what we're here for.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What kind of a priority was it you wanted? Tires or extra gasoline?
And do you think we are too far from the beginning to go back there again?
Well, we can try going back there once more. You see, my nephew is in the Army, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, really? Are you going to have a turkey dinner for him?
Not at the rate we're going, lady, no.
You see, like I said before, that's what we come in to see you about. We can't get one in the whole city, Miss Byington, and you see, this dinner is for a couple of soldiers, and that's why we're trying to get a priority from the government on it. You see, we got all the trimmings, but the trouble is we ain't got nothing to trim.
A priority on a turkey?
Yeah, it's our only chance of getting one. We done scarred the whole town. And I promise you that I won't eat none of the turkey myself. I might dip my bread in the gravy, but that's all.
Well, this is the first request we've had like this. I'd like to help. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call up regional headquarters and see what they say about it.
We'd appreciate it if you would.
You might fill out this application blank in the meantime, just in case.
Okay. Name. I guess I better put Amos Jones' name and address down, too, because that's where we want to have the dinner.
That'll be fine.
Regional headquarters?
Oh, Dorothy, this is Spring.
Oh, hello, Spring.
I called you last night. You weren't home, you little stay out.
Jeanette and I went over to that millinery class. I'm making the most stunning hat you ever saw.
Oh, you're making me so jealous. I need a hat so badly for my new coat. What kind are you making, Dorothy?
Oh, it's sort of an idea of my own. It's an off-the-face turban.
Oh, that should be gorgeous. Especially with your hair. Oh, anything else new?
No, except that I'm going over to Clara's Sunday afternoon. You going?
Well, I don't know whether Frank's going to play golf or not, but I'll be talking to you before that. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
If there's anything that annoys me, it's some woman calling me when I'm busy and just talking about nothing. Now, where were we?
You called her.
I called her?
You was going to ask her if there was some way that we could get a priority on the turkey.
Well, how do you like that? She hung up without telling me.
You didn't ask her.
I didn't? Oh, I suppose it's my fault. But it's just that girl talks so incessantly and rambles on. What now? Hello?
Spring, this is Dorothy. Dorothy again. You didn't tell me what you called me up for.
Oh, I'm glad you called back, Dorothy. Listen, can we give out a priority order for a turkey?
Well, not that I know of. At least I've never heard of it.
Well, if anybody would know about it, it would be you.
Well, I've never heard of it since I've been here.
Well, that's all I want to know. Thanks, Dorothy.
Goodbye.
I'm awfully sorry, but there just is no such thing.
Yeah, well, thanks anyway, Miss Bynum. We sure appreciate what you try to do for us.
I guess the boys will just have to get along without gasoline. I mean, without a turkey. Goodbye.
No luck at the ration board, huh, fellas?
No, Amos, nothing. And we even went to 6 more butcher shops and still couldn't get none.
Yes, Amos, I'm going to tell you, I know my way around Harlem here, and I know all the ropes. But I tell you, I just about to give up the thing.
Say, I was just wondering, is there any place where we could get a wild turkey, maybe?
Oh, Andy, there ain't no wild turkeys around here. What you talking about? You know, them pilgrims got all of them.
They did, huh?
Sure they did.
Well, tell me this. Does you know a pilgrim that we could call up?
Oh, Andy, that was years and years ago, Andy. By the way, did you see that letter on your desk there that's come for you?
Oh, no. Hey, looky here. There's another letter from Jimmy.
Oh, it is, huh?
Oh, say, maybe his friend ain't coming. Mm-hmm. Then if Jimmy comes up here alone, I can take him out to dinner.
Yeah. Now. Go ahead and read it then, Andy.
Yeah. Dear Uncle Andy, I want to tell you that I am...
Now, what do you say, Andy?
He's bringing 3 more fellas.
Andy, what time did Jimmy say that him and his friends would get here?
Well, he say sometime around noon. So I guess they won't be here for an hour or maybe an hour and a half yet. Is it anything else you need, Ruby? I'll go down to the store and get it.
No, Andy, I think we have everything. And I think it's going to be a pretty nice dinner, too.
Yeah, well, I bought everything I could think of.
I know you did, Andy. And I'm going to fix everything just as good as I know how.
Oh, yeah, there ain't no question about that, Ruby. I know that. You is a wonderful cook. But there ain't nobody that can make frankfurters take like turkey.
Oh, but I think that the boys will enjoy their dinner.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. That can't be Jimmy. It's too early for Jimmy.
It might be for me. I'll get it, Amos.
Is there a Mr. Brown here?
Yes. Yes, won't you come in? Andy, there's a lady to see you.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Oh, hello there. Hello. You is the lady from the ration boat, ain't you?
That's right, and I have a turkey for you. Here.
Oh, a turkey for me?
Yes. You see, we ordered our own turkey about a month ago, and this morning some friends of ours dropped in and gave us a turkey from their farm, and I want you to have it.
Well, gee, I couldn't...
And fortunately, I had this address, that you put on the priority blank, remember? Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't know how to thank you. I wouldn't take the thing for myself, but on account of my nephew and his soldier friends coming, it'll sure make it nice for them. How much do I owe you for it?
Oh, you don't owe me anything. It didn't cost me anything. I'm not in the turkey business.
Oh, well, this sure is nice of you, lady.
Yes, it sure is wonderful.
Oh, go on. Well, I've got to run along now and start cooking my own dinner. Goodbye again.
Goodbye.
That sure was sweet of that lady.
Yeah. Now I'll really be able to give them a Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, boy, am I happy.
That turkey sure looks good, don't it? Look at there.
Boy, that turkey sure smells good, too.
Yeah, tell me this, Ruby. When is you going to take it out of the oven?
Oh, it's got about an hour to go yet. I hope the boys get here on time.
Yeah. Look at it there, Amos. Just look at that thing.
Yeah, that's something all right, ain't it?
Yeah. Look at right there. See how it kind of browning up on the breast there? Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. This is getting brown, ain't it?
Oh, boy, wouldn't that turkey be proud if he could see himself right now?
I just got to baste it a little more here.
Yeah.
Look at that gravy going over that breast.
I wonder why they don't make perfume out of that stuff. You know, Amos, Uh-oh, that must be them now. Now, remember, do just like we said.
Okay, come on now, Ruby, come on.
Yeah, and just when I put my hand on the doorknob, we start the thing. You ready?
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh.
I've got a special delivery letter for Mr. Brown.
For me?
Yeah. Sign right there.
Oh, yes, sir.
At the lodge hall, they told me you were over here.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's the matter, Andy? You look sad.
What is it, Andy?
Yeah, well, I was sad, Amos. But I was proud, too.
What do it say, Andy?
It's from Jimmy.
Yes, huh?
Will not be able to come to New York. Neither will the other boys. We are leaving for a port of embarkation. By the time you get this, we will no doubt be on our way overseas. Love, Jimmy.
You can really be proud of that boy, Andy.
Yeah. God bless him. I sure hope he has a safe trip. How many guests did you invite over here for the turkey dinner, Andy?
7 of them.
Who all did you invite?
I don't know their names. Just 7 boys from the USO.
Join us again next week at this same time for the Amos and Andy Show, at which time Amos and Andy will have as their guest the fine picture character actor, Mr. Donald Meek. Our program is shortwave to our armed forces overseas, wherever they may be. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for all of us and thanking the charming MGM star, Miss Spring Byington, for appearing with us tonight. One more thing before we say goodnight. A reminder that you ladies personally can save the lives of many of our fighting men without budging a step out of your kitchens. Just remember, the waste fats and greases you can save will be made into ammunition and precious sulfur drugs. But no matter how much you save, those waste fats and greases won't do anyone a bit of good until you sell them to your dealer. So don't let them hang around the kitchen. Once you've filled a can, take it right to your meat dealer. The need is so urgent that within 3 weeks, the waste fats and greases you turn in are at the munitions plant. Put them into any kind of tin can. Save those waste fats. Thank you, and good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Good health to all from Rexall. Yes, it's Sunday, time for the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and your Rexall Family Druggist.
Good evening. This is your Rexall Family Druggist, taking a little time from behind the prescription counter this Sunday evening to speak for all 10,000 of us. The 10,000 druggists who have added the word Rexall to our own store names. You can always tell us by the orange and blue Rexall sign in our windows. The sign means that we carry the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. They range all the way from aspirin to penicillin, and they're as fine and pure and dependable as science can make them. We recommend them to our customers because we know you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. And now your Rexall Family Druggist brings you the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp in his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Last week, Alice noticed that her clothes were getting tight on her, and she decided to go on a special health diet. She feels the diet is not only good for herself, but also for Phil and the children. And the family has been on this imposed diet for 5 days now.
Alice, do we have to eat this stuff for lunch again?
What's wrong with it?
Well, look at it. Raw carrots, vegetable juice, dried fruit, herbs, and celery tonic. Can I have something that tastes good like a hunk of blubber? I'm getting weak from eating this stuff. And look at the kids. They're wasting away to a shadow.
Oh, stop exaggerating. This health food is good for them. Children, eat your lunch. Alice, pick up your fork and start eating.
Yes, Mommy. Daddy.
Yes?
Help me lift my little arm.
Now, you see what I mean? They're weak, and no wonder. They're practically living on raw carrots. Carrots for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Look at Phyllis. She's so weak she can hardly keep her little pink eyes open.
Don't be ridiculous. Carrots will never do her any harm. Now, Phyllis, start eating. Phyllis, I'm talking to you.
What's up, Doc?
Up to this. Dr. Crail says this diet is very healthy, and I'm going to stay on it until I lose weight.
I can't understand. Why do you have to lose weight?
My clothes don't fit me. I'm getting fat.
Well, it isn't noticeable.
Oh, it isn't?
No, you don't look any fatter to me than usual.
What was that?
Hand me my 9-iron, Caddy. I got to get out of this trap. Oh, look, honey, what I mean is well, you're not fat at all. In fact, you're much more slender than any matron your age.
Matron?
You better tee off again, Daddy. You lifted your head on that one.
Look, Alice, believe me, you're just as slender as you ever were. Just how much weight did you put on anyway?
Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid to step on a scale and find out.
You're on a diet and you don't know how much you weigh? Well, I give up. I just don't understand you women. You're a mamigma to me.
Philip, the word is enigma.
I'm using the feminine tense. Smarty, where'd you come from, Willie?
The door was open, so I walked in. Hello, Alice. Good morning, Philip.
We talked already.
Willie, you're just in time for lunch. Won't you have something?
Yes, would you care to share a herb with us?
No, thank you. I just finished a delicious lunch. I had a hot roast beef sandwich with mashed potatoes and gravy and apple pie.
Cut it out! I haven't had a decent meal since Alice put us all on that Dr. Crail's health diet. I'm telling you, Willie, it's killing me.
But Dr. Crail's health foods are wonderful, Philip. I ate nothing else for 3 months, and they did wonders for me. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. Why, you wouldn't believe it, but when I went to Dr. Crail, I was a 98-pound weakling, and look at my physique today.
Yeah, 102 pounds of solid nothing. Look, if your sister wants to go on a diet, that's her business, but why do I have to go on it?
Because you can stand it. You're getting a little flabby yourself.
Flabby? How can you say that to me? Me, a perfect streamlined specimen of American manhood.
Streamlining is beginning to sag a little. You're getting a double chin.
That ain't no double chin. It's just that my face has so much good looks it overlaps. Hey, Alice, I can't take any more of this. I gotta have some food. I'm just a bag of bones now.
Oh, you are not.
No, then how come every time I step out in the backyard, the dog tries to bury me? I don't care what you say. I'll go to the kitchen. There must be something in the cupboard I can eat. Not even a can of anything left. Just herbs, dried fruit, pablum, carrots. Pablum? That's the stuff Alice used to feed the kids when they were babies. How come we got baby food? I wonder if... Hey, if this stuff's good for babies, it ought to be good for me. I'm going to try some. Hey, this don't taste bad.
Hi, Curly.
Oh, hello, Frank.
Alice told me you're in here. What are you doing?
Eating.
Eating what?
Pablum.
Oh.
Kitchiku. Remley, stop pinching my cheek. Sit down. I want to talk to you.
I don't want to bother you now. I'll come back after your 2 o'clock feeding. So what's the idea of eating pablum?
Well, I got to eat something nourishing. Alice is on a diet. And put me on it, too.
Yeah?
Look, Frankie, I'm so hungry I'm desperate.
You are, huh?
Yesterday I wrote to my congressman to see if I couldn't get in on the Marshall Plan.
Looks like I got here at an opportune moment. That's what I come over to see about. Our pal Bill Chilius is opening a restaurant tonight. It's going to be televised, and he wants stars like you and Alice there.
A restaurant?
Huh?
With food?
Yeah. Hey, how would you like to sink your teeth into a big, juicy sirloin smothered with onions? French fried potatoes and Curly, stop chewing on my arm.
Well, I'm sorry. Look, Frankie, I'd love to go to that restaurant opening, but Alice won't go and she won't let me go either. She says we're going to stay on this diet until she loses weight.
Curly, you don't know how to handle women. All you got to do is flatter her, make her think she lost weight.
Yeah, good enough, but suppose she steps on the scale and finds out she hasn't.
Well, you could be prepared for that exigency.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, all you got to do is set the scale back.
Set the scale? Hey, you got something.
Yeah, sure.
Set it back. Hey, look, I'll go in and fix the scale right now. Now, all you got to do is flatter Alice into weighing herself.
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll flatter her into thinking she's the most slender thing that ever stepped on a scale, and she'll...
What are you fellas doing in here so long? Where's Phil, Frankie?
Somebody talking to me? Did somebody just come in?
It's me, Alice.
Oh, there you are. God, I didn't see you. You're so thin, you're hardly noticeable when you stand sideways.
Oh, stop trying to tell me that... You think I'm thin?
Definitely. I imagine when you take a shower, if you don't stand in the right position, you don't get wet.
Oh, Frankie, let's not overdo this. I think that
Hey, Frankie, I got everything all fixed. I set the... Oh, hello, Alice.
You set what, Phil?
My hair. I just washed it, and it's a mass of ringlets.
Phil, you know, Frankie thinks I look slender.
Certainly. So does everybody else. That's what I've been telling you. If you'd only weigh yourself, you'd see that we're right, too.
All right, I'll do it. I'll go in and see.
Yeah, we'll go with you.
Hey, Curly, the scale fit?
Like a crooked slot machine. Okay, Alice. Now, look, get right up on the scale.
All right.
Right
okay.
up there. That's it.
There. Gee, I'm afraid to look. What does the scale say? How much do I weigh?
32 3/4 pounds.
32 3/4?
Well, that's with your clothes on, honey. You don't really weigh 32 3/4.
Well, Curly, you fixed the grate.
I can't understand it. I just set that knob back a little.
Oh, I might have known it was just a trick to get me off my diet. Just for that, I'm going out and buy another month's supply of that health food.
Oh,
goodbye, boys.
No, not another month of that stuff. Sometimes I wonder why I ever became a married man. There's so many other things I could have been. When I was young, I had about 1,000,000 aspirations, hopes and expectations, things I thought I'd be. A fireman, an actor, a farmer with a tractor, an acrobat, a crooner, a captain of a schooner. Then I wanted to be president. But now I'm kind of hesitant, because when I look around, the things I see, they don't appeal to me. So, you know, I want to be a goldfish, a happy little goldfish. Believe me, life would be a bowl of thrills. No need to be a scholar, no need to earn $1. Don't have to lift a gill to pay your bills. Why, they haven't any troubles, and life's a bowl of bubbles, 'cause romantically they're always in the mood. For when a little he-fish pursues a little she-fish, not once does she resent his attitude. Why, he's never in hot water about some fish's daughter, so don't blame me if I wish I were a goldfish. That's what I want to be, a goldfish. Just a happy little goldfish. Believe me, that's a life of ease and class. Why, it's so hunky-dory in manners piscatory to wave your penny in a bowl of glass. Now, they think their life is dreary now. In fact, it's very cheery. Why, they giggle just by wiggling their tails. Their music, though aquatic, from swing to operatic, they get by playing up and down their scales. Why, no golf to throw your stance off, no news to scare your pants off. Don't blame me if I wish I were a goldfish. No dentist makes you holler, no doctor pills to swallow, no rheumatiz to lay you up in bed. Listen to this. You snare a golden cutie, it ain't her father's duty to grab a gun and fill you full of lead. So until this world of taxes gets back up on its axis, please, just for a little while, I want to be a goldfish. Hey, how was that, Frankie?
Curly, you're right. You're from hunger. So what you need is a good meal. How about coming to that restaurant tonight?
I just got through town telling you that Alice ain't going to let me. I ain't going to get a square meal again until her clothes fit her.
Until her clothes fit her?
That's right.
I think I have a solution.
Hold it a minute. Just hold it a minute now. Don't come in with another one of them extremities or strikers.
Well, listen to me. Look, if we fixed Alice's clothes so that they fit her again, she'd think her weight was normal and she'd start eating.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, if the dresses are tight, all we got to do is let them out. Open a few seams.
That's it. You go up and get Alice's dresses, and I'll get the sewing machine ready.
Okay. Hey, Frankie, now please be careful, will you? These are Alice's best dresses.
All right, let me have them.
Wait a minute, Frankie.
What?
Look at me.
Yeah.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Don't I always? I know how to handle this stuff. First thing I do is open the seam. Just a little. Very carefully.
Remley, look what you did.
Don't worry. That's just the first step.
Now what do we do?
Baste the hem.
We what?
Baste the hem. You know what that means, don't you?
Of course I do. What do you think I am, stupid or something? What good is it going to do to pour gravy all over the dress?
Curly, your ignorance is amazing. Basting the hem means letting out the waste.
Oh, it does?
Sure.
I thought they called that pleating the peplum.
It's the same thing.
Well, how much should we let the waste out?
Not much. About 5 inches.
Let's make it 10 and be on the safe side.
Okay. I'll stitch it up. There we go. I'll have this thing finished in no time. Do it carefully. Get a nice, straight
Wow,
line.
if it ain't breaking the sewing machine, girl.
Oh, darn you, Julius, you made me run the needle over my finger. Look at it. What are you laughing at?
You're the first guy I ever seen with a hem-stitched cuticle.
Look, Julius, will you go away? We're busy.
What are you doing?
We're basting a hem.
Oh. If you got any time out on Tuesday, I got a bodice that needs flaring.
Let's do it right now, Curly.
Okay, put him over my knee and I'll flare his little bodice.
What are you guys doing with Miss Faye's dresses?
If you must know, she's put on some weight and we're letting them out about 10 inches.
10 inches? You mean she's that fat? This is the end of everything. My dream boat has become a barge.
She's not that fat. Just that her clothes are getting a little tight on her.
You just say that to make me feel better. Tell me the truth. How fat is she?
Now, look, Julius,
Son, give it to me straight. I can take it. Is her obesity obnoxious?
Will you stop that? I keep on trying to... Is her who what?
So that's why she hasn't been in to buy groceries lately. She's ashamed to be seen.
All right. Have it your own way. She hasn't been out of the house because she can't get through the front door. Now get lost, will you?
All right, I'll go. This is a severe blow.
Oh, Phil, where are you?
Uh-oh, it's Fatso.
Quick, Frankie. Yeah. Frankie, hide the dresses under the sewing machine and cover it up. Hurry up. Here she comes.
Phil, will you and Frankie come out and help me?
Well, don't stand there, you guys. Go out and help her. You must be wedged between something. I'm leaving by the back door. I just can't stand to see her waddle in. Goodbye.
Waddle in. To hear him talk, you'd think that she was...
Help me with these bundles, will you, fellas?
Oh, hi, Alice. You're back, huh? Hey, Alice, did you bring home one little steak for me?
No. Dr. Crail doesn't believe in steaks. Now, please, carry these bundles in the kitchen.
Come on, Frankie.
All right.
Dr. Crail doesn't believe in steaks. Dr. Crail. Guy probably eats nothing else when nobody's watching.
Yeah. If Alice saw the guy eating a steak, that'd get her off of him. Well, wait a minute. I think I can arrange it so Alice will see him eating one.
See him eating one?
Yeah. You know, I told you they're televising the opening of Chilius's restaurant. All you got to do is invite this doctor to have dinner with you there and have a steak put right down in front of him.
Yeah, I get it.
You see?
Alice sees all this on our television set.
That's it. I'll stay here to make sure she tunes into the right station. You better get going, Curly. You haven't got much time.
Okay, I'll call the doctor right now and tell him to meet me at the restaurant at 6.
Okay, goodbye, Curly.
If Alice asks me, goodbye. If Alice asks me I've gone, I'll tell her that I had to meet Jackson.
Okay, see ya. Goodbye, Curly.
All right, goodbye. Hey, thanks for the idea, Frankie.
You bet. Goodbye.
I kind of hate to leave. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, Curly. Oh, great. Wait till Alice sees this doctor eating a steak.
What's keeping you fellas so long? Where's Phil?
Phil. Oh, Phil. He had to leave. He had an urgent phone call to go over and see Jack Benny.
Oh, gee, I hope he's back in time for dinner.
Yeah, well, he will be. Do you mind if I stay around, Alice? There's a television show on at 6 o'clock that I want to see.
Okay. But if you'll excuse me now, I have to go and get dinner ready.
Okay.
East is east and west is west, and the wrong one I have chose. Let's go where I'll keep on wearing those frills and flowers and buttons and bows and rings and things and buttons and bows. Don't bury me in this prairie, take me where the seamen roam. Let's move down to some big town where they love a gal by the cut of her clothes, and I'll stand out in buttons and bows.
We'll love you in buckskin or skirts that you homespun.
Oh, but I'll love you longer, stronger, where your friends don't tote a gun. My bones denounce the buckboard bounce and the cactus hurts my toes. Let them moose wig out, keep using those silks and satins and linen that shows, and I'm all yours with buttons and bows.
Home on the range doesn't mean a thing to me.
'Cause the city's where I feel at home, and not the lone prairie. My bones denounce the buckboard bounce, and the cactus hurts my toes. Let the moose wig out, keep using those silks and satins and linen that shows, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows.
Give me Eastern trimming,
where women are women in high silk hose and peekaboo clothes and fresh perfume.
that rocks the room,
And I'm all yours in buttons and bows.
Well, I'm so happy you're able to come to the opening of my restaurant, Mr. Harris. Is Mrs. Harris going to join you?
No, she couldn't make it, Chilius. You see, I'm having dinner with my doctor.
Oh, I hope there's nothing wrong.
No, it's just a little matter of...
I beg your pardon. You're Mr. Harris, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm Dr. Crale's associate. I'm Dr. Carlson.
You're Doctor... But I thought... A beautiful girl like you,
Shall I draw the curtains, Mr. Harris?
No! Chilius. It's not what you think. This is my doctor.
Of course. Sick like that, I should be.
Dr. Crale couldn't make it, Mr. Harris. I hope you're not disappointed in my being here.
Well,
You don't mind having dinner with me, do you?
I'll force myself. Forgive me, Alice. This was thrust upon me.
Hey, Alice, where do you see this television show?
Why are you so anxious for me to see it?
Well, you'll find out. You're in for quite a surprise. You're going to see something that'll just... Oh. Good. It's coming on now. Wait till I get the picture a little clearer. There, now sit back. You're going to enjoy this,
Good evening,
Alice.
ladies and gentlemen of the television audience.
Yeah.
Welcome to the opening of Chilius's Restaurant, located on Hollywood's famous strip. We have quite a few celebrities dining here tonight. I see Edgar Bergen, Ray Milland, Ida Lupino, Sonny Tuff, and Phil Harris.
Phil Harris? What's Phil doing in that restaurant?
Oh, Jackson must have taken him to dinner.
And now, without further ado, we take our camera and microphone to our nearest table. And I see it's the well-known orchestra leader and radio star, Phil Harris, and the charming dinner companion.
Hey, look, Alice, it's Curly and that's Jack Benny?
I must say, Jack looks stunning in a strapless evening gown.
Well, this is a very dull show. I better turn it off.
You so much as touch that dial and I'll break your guitar arm. I want to hear Phil explain this.
Well, here we are at Mr. Harris's table. Mr. Harris, do you mind if we interview you?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, this is thrilling. The television camera is right on us.
Yes, sir. Right this minute, we're being seen in thousands of I forgot it's being televised. Alice, I can explain everything, honey. This girl is my doctor.
Oh, come now, Curly.
Alice, I didn't know she was going to show up. I was expecting somebody else.
My mother told me I should never trust a drummer. Phil Harris, you're nothing but a philanderer, a rake, an old roue.
I am not. Whatever my wife is calling me.
Your wife? You mean this girl isn't? And your wife is watching?
Shall I draw the curtains, Mr. Harris?
Yes. I mean, no. Alice, this isn't my fault. Frankie arranged this, didn't you, Frankie?
Only up to a point. You're ad-libbing this part.
Oh, Alice, please don't go away. I'll be right home to explain everything, honey. Oh, I feel sick. Oh.
Lucky he's got his doctor with him.
Just wait till he gets home.
And Alice, that's the whole story. Now, please believe me. Instead of Dr. Crail showing up, he sent his assistant.
I don't believe you.
Oh, Frankie, make her understand. You believe me, don't you, pal?
No.
Alice, honey, you've got to believe me. You know I wouldn't even look at another woman.
I've seen you look.
Oh, Alice, honey, look, if you don't believe me, call Dr. Crail and ask him. He'll tell you that he sent her over.
Well, if you're willing to let me do that, I guess I was a little hasty.
Oh, then you do believe me?
Yes, Phil, I'm convinced.
I'm not.
But Frankie, honey, I tell you, darling... Oh, shut up!
Alice and Phil will be back in just a moment. Now, let's listen while a mother asks a question of her neighborhood druggist.
Just the other day, I completely cleaned out our family medicine cabinet, and I'd like to get your advice on refilling it.
Well, ma'am, speaking as a family druggist, I'd be sure I filled it with reliable drug products.
But that's just it. How can I know when I'm buying reliable drug products?
Just be sure the name Rexall is on the label.
Well, you say that like a man who knows what he's talking about.
Well, ma'am, we Rexall druggists do know. We've actually seen the way 2,000 or more drug products made by Rexall are tested over and over again before they're considered good enough to wear the Rexall label. And we've seen the day-in and day-out research in Rexall's big laboratories that stand behind that label. That's why we know you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Mister, you've got a customer. Can I get these products anywhere?
Oh, no, ma'am. Only at Rexall stores, the stores with the orange and blue Rexall sign in the window.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Oh, Phil, I have some news for you. We don't have to stay on that diet anymore.
Well, hallelujah. And ziggity zing. Hey, you mean you lost enough weight?
Oh, Phil, I never gained any.
Never gained? But you said your clothes were pretty tight on you.
I know, but the dry cleaner just called and said he's been trying a new cleaning fluid, and it shrank all of my clothes.
Oh, no.
Automatic saving is sure saving. Buy U.S. savings bonds regularly where you work, or if you're not on the payroll, where you bank. This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips. Included in today's cast were Viola Vaughn and Frederick Tozaire. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliott Lewis, and Julius was played by Walter Tetley. Alice Faye appeared through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox. This is Bill Foreman wishing good health to all from Rexall. Sunday is Fun Day on NBC. Stay tuned to this station for the Edgar Burke and Charlie McCarthy Show, which follows immediately.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The National Broadcasting Company presents The Adventures of Sam Spade, Detective.
Sam Spade, Detective Agency.
Here's I, sweetheart.
Sam! Oh, he's burned to death. This office. Glass all over the floor, holes in the wall.
That was just business going on as usual during altercations, F.
Well, what was it all about, Sam?
They tried, Effie, just tried to pluck my feathers and cook my goose.
On Thanksgiving, too. How could they?
Oh, they were a mean lot.
Are you all right?
Hale and hearty, every giblet in place and not a feather ruffled. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was heavenly. Mama had a turkey dinner, sage dressing, cranberry sauce, candy jam.
Hard cider?
A little.
Come clean, Effie?
Well, I had 2 glasses. Everyone was there.
Cousin Gertie, Dwight, Mrs. Flash. I was disappointed when you didn't show up, Sam. Did you have Thanksgiving dinner?
Sure.
Sam?
At the Helping Hand Rescue Mission, where there's plenty of free parking and never a cover charge. For further details, consult the report, which I will presently be bound to dictate on a pasty chronicle of foul play. The Terrified Turkey Caper.
For NBC, William Spear, radio's outstanding producer-director of mystery and crime drama, brings you the greatest private detective of them all in The Adventures of Sam Spade.
Sam, hey!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
Having Thanksgiving dinner at a rescue mission, and Mama cooked it perfectly wonderful.
Thank your mother for me, Aunt. Tell her I'll be over to break wishbones with her tonight. And to atone for my social indifferences, here's a little something I brought for you.
Oh, Sam! You shouldn't have. It's beautiful. What is it?
A blunderbuss.
A blunder what?
Bus, as in step to the rear of.
Oh. Well, what does it do?
Shoots, Seth. It's a gun. Our founding fathers used it in foraging for feathered food when they settled this abundant continent.
And it's mine.
To do with what you will.
Where did you get it?
Pencil point?
Yes, Sam. Who gave it to you?
Pad open?
Oh, yes, but I don't know.
Knees crossed?
Did you mean the founding fathers?
Don't peek. Date November 24th, 1950. To Detective Lieutenant I.C. Kelsey, Homicide Detail, San Francisco Police. From Samuel Spade, license number 137596. Subject, Turkey. Dear Kelsey, this was a big week for the cranberry pickers, the butchers, the sage makers, and the stomach pill people. But for private detectives, it was strictly from hunger. My office door opened only twice a day, once to let me in and once to let me out. And when on Wednesday I heard a knock on the door, I went into a paroxysm of delight. Come in! Come in! Come in! Entrez-vous! Entrez-vous! Arise! When I ran out of languages, I got up from behind the desk, walked to the door, and opened it. Standing there was a small, middle-aged man with a pink, bald head. His blue serge suit needed pressing, and he was nervously fingering a strawberry birthmark under his left ear.
Mr. Samuel Spade?
I am.
May I have a moment?
You may have several, but not in the corridor. It's not in my lease.
Oh, I'll come in.
Good. Well?
Well, you'll have to excuse me, Mr. Spade. I've had so few dealings with private detectives, I find it hard to begin. Oh, perhaps I shouldn't have come at all. Goodbye.
No, wait a minute. Maybe I can help you.
Well, you see, Oh, what's the use? You won't believe me. Nobody does. I'd really better...
Oh, now, wait. I'll believe you. All I ask is a chance. Now, let's start with your name.
Oh, what, my name?
Yes.
Yes, my name. To begin with, you won't believe that. Oh, but I can verify it. Yes, I can. It's on the registration book of the old Colony Hotel, in the 1943 phone book, and on my old driver's license.
Well, I'll have to know it before I can verify it.
Yes, of course you will. It's Tom.
Well, now that's not so hard to believe.
Oh, you haven't heard the rest of it. It's Tom Turkey. You see, I told you wouldn't believe it. I'd better go.
No, let me be the first to believe you. Now, Mr. Tom, what's your problem?
Oh, dear, that's even harder to explain.
Well, now that I don't believe. But take a breath and jump into it.
Yes. My name's Tom Turkey, and they're going to kill me for Thanksgiving.
Well, I had asked for it, and I had gotten it. And I sat back wondering who had gone to all the trouble to play this funny joke on me. I was looking at my hand to see if there was any itching powder on it where he'd shaken it when my phone rang. I lifted the receiver, swung around on my swivel, and gazed out onto the street. It was Al Cuccio calling, a private eye whose reputation was shadier than a mushroom cellar.
Hiya, Spade.
Al.
Haven't seen much of you lately, Spade. You have to get together.
Yeah, well, so long.
Wait, I'll tell you why I called. I've had a pest in my office, keeps coming back. Thinks he's a turkey somebody wants to dress. I brushed him, but your name came up, and I just wanted to warn you. He might be in to see you.
I'm confused, Al. I never knew you to turn your back on a buck.
Oh, I don't want any of this one. His buttons are loose. My advice to you is to bounce him.
Well, we've never traded advice before, Cuccio. Why not?
Well, after all, we're in the same racket. If we can't help each other...
Oh, sure, Al, sure. I appreciate it.
Give me a ring. We've got to get together sometime.
Yeah, when I get a free night, we'll Jimmy parking meter.
Yeah, we... Huh? Oh, yeah. Parking meters. See you later, Spade.
I turned back to the desk, and what I saw in front of me was an empty chair. Tom Turkey had taken wing. I got up and walked to the window, and a minute later, I saw him come out of the building downstairs and start to cross the street. And then I saw something else. A large 4-ton truck was tearing down the street, picking up speed. Instinctively, I shouted a warning, and at the last second, Tom Turkey scrambled from in front of the truck and disappeared into the alleyway. The truck roared up the street, and on its side was printed in gold letters, "Haynes, you drive it." There was nothing to say it wasn't coincidence, this near mishap, but somehow I found myself intrigued and wanting to hear more of the little guy's story. He said the Old Colony Hotel. On the way, I stopped at the library, found an old 1943 phone book, and looked. He was listed. Thomas Turkey, it said. Out of curiosity, I rang the number.
Hello?
I wonder if you can help me. I'm inquiring about a Mr. Turkey.
Turkey. This ain't his number no more.
I know.
Haven't had any calls for him for years. Calling name.
Yeah, I know.
I knew a woman named Rabbit once. Mrs. Rabbit.
About Turkey, could you remember what he looked like?
I don't. Hey, Manny, what Turkey look like?
Huh? Oh.
Yeah. Small man, around 50. Nice fellow, Manny says.
Strawberry under his left ear?
Strawberry under his left ear, Manny? Yeah, strawberry under his left ear.
Well, thank you, madam, for your information, and thanks to Manny.
Well, you're welcome, but I don't know what you're going to do with it. Old man Turkey's dead. Been dead for years.
Curiouser and curiouser, I thought. They had described the man who came to my office 20 minutes ago, and now he'd been dead for years. I continued on to the Old Colony Hotel. Room, 75 cents, it said. Tom's room is 114.
Who is it?
Sam Spade.
Oh, come in, Mr. Spade. I'm sorry I ran away. I didn't think you really believed me.
Well, I'm not sure I do yet. Tell me, was that truck an accident?
Oh, I don't think so, no. They made 3 attempts before to kill me. Somebody tried to push me in front of a train, and then a wheelchair full of cement dropped off a building and just missed me, and then I was shot at.
Oh, who are they, and why would they want to kill you?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Look, let's tack.
Tack?
I dialed your old phone number, and the people who answered said you're dead.
Oh, a lot of people think I'm dead.
Yeah. Look, do you still want me to work for you?
Oh, yes, please.
Well, you'll have to tell me more then. I can't...
I guess I'd better tell you everything. Oh, it's hard to talk about, Mr. Spade. It's not easy to admit to someone you've been a foolish man. You see, I just turned 50. I was quite tired of the life I'd led. Proper, dull, and unfruitful, except in money. My business was worrying, and so was my wife, Henrietta.
This has a traditional ring.
Anyway, to make it short, I decided to run away. One day I drove to work. I parked my car in the middle of the Bay Bridge where the suicide note left it and disappeared.
Where did you go?
Oh, all over the world. I took a job on a boat. I did. On a boat. And then I settled in Sao Paulo, Brazil, under another name.
Now you're back. Why?
Well, maybe I got lonely. Maybe I got wiser. Maybe I felt I paid enough for my mistakes. Let's just say I'm back. I want to be with Henrietta.
Have you seen her?
I checked into this hotel and wrote her a letter saying I wasn't dead. I was back in San Francisco, and I wanted to come back to her if she still would have me. But I told her I wouldn't bother her unless she wanted to see me, that she could contact me here. That was a week ago.
And you haven't heard from her?
No, and almost right away these attempts on my life began.
I see. All right, what's her address?
3118 Monroe. Oh, she's taken her maiden name again. Black. Henrietta Black.
Well, come on, let's go.
No, I'm not going to see her until she asks me.
Well, look, you're going to my apartment. Nobody will bother you there.
And you're going to see Henrietta?
That's right.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Spade. You do believe me. I think I'm really ready to face the world again now.
I deposited Tom in my apartment with instructions to open the door for no one but me, and then I proceeded to 3118 Monroe in the high-rent district. I was ushered through a comely portico by a Japanese maid who told me to wait in a study heavy with mahogany. In a moment, 2 people came in. The woman wore a black dress, silver pendant, flat shoes, and a complexion the color of apple meat. She was Miss Henrietta Black and/or Mrs. Tom Turkey. The man turned out to be Leander Luce, the lady's attorney, business manager, and canasta partner.
You say you have something important to discuss with me, Mr. Spade?
I do.
I hope you don't mind my asking Mr. Luce to be here.
Not at all.
Well,
Mrs. Turkey, I just talked to your husband, Tom.
Mr. Spade, if you please.
I say something?
a rather feeble attempt at comedy, Mr. Spade.
Well, I wasn't trying for a laugh. You are Mrs. Turkey, aren't you?
I was.
You undoubtedly still are.
I'd expected to hear another one of these cruel jokes about my name.
At Thanksgiving time, Mr. Spade, someone was always going to stuff Tom, baste him, dress him, slice him.
This season, they're going to kill him.
They are not going to kill him. He is already dead.
He's not dead, Mrs. Turkey, and you should know it.
I should.
Yes, he sent you a letter saying he was back in San Francisco and wanted to see you.
Mr. Spade, this has gone absolutely far enough.
Not quite. What about the letter?
I know of no such letter.
I see. Well, thank you for your time. I'm sorry I bothered you.
Oh, you used bad judgment in coming in the first place.
Yes, maybe you're right. There was falsehood in this someplace, Lieutenant, and it stuck out like a fat girl in slack. The only thing to do was to go back to my apartment, get Tom Turkey, and confront Mrs. T with her husband in the flesh. But when I got back to my apartment building, I spotted in rapid succession, 1, an ambulance, 2, a police car, and upstairs, outside my half-open apartment door, I spotted 3, you.
I've been expecting it.
What's going on, Kelsey?
Yes, serious, Sam, serious.
Who's that bald-headed man moving around the apartment?
That's McCracken, the new medical examiner. Checking the stiff on your rug.
I stepped around you, Lieutenant, and pushed the door all the way open. I saw McCracken kneeling over the body and a couple of men from homicide taking photos. I moved into the room feeling nothing good. A little guy had given me a job, and while I was yakking with his wife, somebody got to him. And in my apartment, where I'd stashed him. McCracken stood up, and I looked down at the body. Then I looked again. Who I saw wasn't Tom Turkey at all. It was the late private eye, Al Kuchel. You are listening to the weekly adventure of radio's most famous detective, Sam Spade. You Friday fans of Sam Spade, there's mystery on Saturday evening, too, on NBC. Tomorrow, the man called X sets out on another mission of danger and intrigue in some far-off corner of the earth. Herbert Marshall stars as the man called X, a man without a name who travels the world over protecting his country's interests. He lives by his wits, and his business is danger. He's the man called X, tomorrow over most NBC stations. For Top Sunday listening, it's another broadcast of The Big Show on NBC. This Sunday, your stars include Fred Allen, Jack Carson, Mindy Carson, Ed Archie Gardner, Ed Wynn, and many, many more. And Tallulah is your MC as usual. This Sunday, it's The Big Show on NBC. And now back to the terrified turkey caper, tonight's adventure with Sam Spade. While the men from homicide were taking pictures, etc., you and I, Lieutenant, were going round and round on the question, if I didn't kill the man found in my room, who did? And you were sufficiently impressed with my insult, Kelsey, not to hold me for the murder. We bowed to each other, and I left. Thinking back to the truck that had almost run Turkey down, I went to the Haynes U Drive truck rental garage.
What do you want?
I'm a detective. Could you give me a list of names for everybody who rented a truck from you during the past few days?
Sure.
He handed me a big registration book, and I read every name for the past week. For the first 5 days, they all seemed to be nice, normal, abnormal names. And then, under the rentals for the day before, was the name of John Smith. John had given his address as 7200 Kearney. And I happen to know that Kearney only goes up to 2000. The dispatcher said that Smith had returned the truck about 3 hours before, and he remembered him as an ugly, heavy-set, and rough-voiced character who looked like an ex-longshoreman. They had already washed the truck, so the fingerprints were all out up.
Well, it's Mr. Spade again.
Look, I'd like to speak with Miss Black, if you don't mind.
Come in. Come in.
Thank you.
This way, into the den.
Right. Well, I was sure you'd look into this affair a little more and realize that it was just a blind alley. A hoax of some kind. Where's Miss Black? Oh, she's upstairs lying down. The whole affair has upset her, and she asked not to be disturbed. I think the wisest course of action for you, Mr. Spade, is just to let the matter drop. You can't let a murder just drop, Mr. Lewis. The police wouldn't hear of it. Huh? Murder? Who? An unfrocked private detective named Al Cuccio. Well, what does this have to do with Henrietta Black? Al Cuccio called me earlier today and said that Tom Turkey was a crackpot, a little man with delusions. He tried to top me off taking his case. He sounds like a perceiving man. Well, he didn't perceive ending up in my apartment with a bullet in his head. Well, that's too bad, but I still don't I left see... Tom Turkey in my apartment for safekeeping, and when I returned, he was gone and Cuccio was dead. Well, that explains itself, obviously. This detective knew that Tom Turkey was a phony, and Turkey killed him. It can figure that way, and a number of other ways. Mr. Spade, I have no desire to sit here trading subtleties with you. As yet, no one has demonstrated that the real Tom Turkey actually exists, alive. Now, until you do have something more concrete and less mythological, Miss Black requests that you do not come around opening up old wounds. You've made an eloquent point. Just tell me one thing. If I can. When did Tom Turkey disappear? I mean, what month, what day? It was, 1943, November. But I'm not sure of the exact day. I think it was in the third week. Could it have been on Thanksgiving? Very possibly, very possibly. I returned thoughtfully to my office and did a little rapid mental arithmetic and came up with the number 7. From November 23rd, 1943 to November 23rd, 1950 was 7 years to the day. And I pondered this. What did the number 7 mean to the life or death of Tom Turkey? I had just hit upon the answer and was crying Eureka when my office door opened, unlocked, and a visitor came in unannounced. He was ugly, heavy-set, and looked like an ex-longshoreman. I waited to see if the voice checked.
You, Spade?
Who shall I say is calling?
Yeah, Captain John Smith. And here's my calling card.
The first bullet grazed my shoulder and tore the padding out of my coat. The second bullet hit the water cooler and it crashed over, water and all on top of me. Where the third bullet hit, I wasn't sure at the time because darkness came rushing through my head like a freight train. When I opened my eyes again, I expected to see St. Peter checking my ID card. But all I saw were the dust balls under my desk and a fly bathing himself in a pool of water spreading slowly over the floor. There was blood on my hand, but it came from a glass cut. I was in shambles, but alive. Captain John Smith had shoved off, obviously thinking his bullets had done their work.
Homicide, Lieutenant Kelsey.
Sam, Kelsey, have you found anything more about Tom Turkey?
Nothing, Sam. Frankly, I'm beginning to wonder if there is such a guy.
Well, clever Kelsey, a few minutes ago, a gorilla by the name, believe it or not, of Captain John Smith just tried to kill me in my office.
Oh, go on, Sam. I find it hard to think.
You find it hard to think, period.
Really, Sam? Did you get him?
No, but my office is a wreck, and there's a hole blasted in my wall big enough to put a basketball in.
Well, what did he use, a bazooka?
I figured dum-dum bullets.
Dum-dum? Well, that's illegal, ain't it?
Kelsey, doesn't it strike you as significant that every attempt on Turkey's life has been vicious, as if someone not only wanted to kill him, but also mutilate him?
Yeah, now that you mention it. Somebody probably wanted to make identification difficult.
Even dead, they didn't want anybody to know who he was. Now, listen carefully, Kelsey. This is real deep. Tom Turkey disappeared on Thanksgiving of 1943. A person has to be missing 7 years before he can be legally dead and his insurance collected. Now, if someone had Turkey insured, they could collect the day after this Thanksgiving, if Turkey didn't show up before.
You mean somebody's trying to kill him for the insurance?
I would say so, Kelsey. I would say so. Now, hurry up and find him. When I put down the phone, I heard a heavy pounding. For a minute, I thought it was in my head, until I turned to face the door, and standing there was a small pilgrim with bandy legs in black stockings, pantaloons, white-collared coat, and stovepipe hat.
Hallelujah.
He wore silver buckles, and what he was pounding on the floor was an 18th century blunderbuss.
Hallelujah. Have I got the right place?
Oh, offhand, I'd say so. If you're looking for Captain John Smith, he just left. Pocahontas is expected any minute.
Now, don't you go trying to confuse me. I'm too thirsty.
What's on your mind?
Well, I'm looking for a fellow named Dan, Oh, I'm so thirsty I forgot.
Sam Spade?
Yeah, that's it. There.
Oh, you broke your water bottle, huh?
Yeah.
Good. That stuff's poison anyway. Hallelujah. Hey, say, do you happen to have any hard cider around?
Fresh out.
Oh. I'm kind of thirsty, you know. Any type of corn squeezing?
Here, try this, Dad.
Yeah.
Good, huh?
Oh.
You like that, huh? Oh.
Pardon me. But before we go, do you suppose we could have a little something for the road? It's bitter cold.
I gave him a little, but not too much, because I didn't want him to lose his way. He walked me right down Market Street so he could look in the liquor store windows. He said it gave him a comfortable feeling to know there was so much good in the world. And then we turned right a few blocks until we came to the Helping Hand Mission. Across its gray front, a banner promised special holiday food and comfort to the unfortunate. And on the street in front of it, there was a brass band sending out signals to the fraternity that any minute the great feast of Thanksgiving would begin. The band members and other volunteer workers were all dressed as pilgrims, with quaint conceit. My pilgrim led me to a dark corner of the club room, and sitting there unhappily was none other than Tom Turkey.
Hello, Mr. Spade.
Oh, hello, Tom. What happened to my apartment? Why did you run away?
Well, I was afraid. You told me not to answer the door until you came back. Well, somebody knocked on the door and said it was you, so I opened it, and two men came in.
Tell me, was one of them Al Cuccio?
Yes, the detective. The other man was a big, ugly-looking fellow, and when they saw I was alone, they started arguing.
About what?
Well, the detective said that now that he brought the ugly man there, he wanted his money.
Yeah?
The ugly man pulled a gun, and they started to fight. Oh, dear, I slipped out the door, and when I was halfway downstairs, I heard a shot and kept on running.
Well, Al Cuccio is dead.
Oh, my. I thought so. This was the only place I could think of to hide. Oh, when Henrietta finds out I've been mixed up in a murder, she'll never take me back.
Henrietta. Hey, tell me, did your wife ever have any insurance on you?
Oh, before I ran away, she did. A $50,000 policy, but, that would have lapsed by now.
Maybe. Did it have a suicide clause in it?
A suicide?
Yes.
Well, no. No, it didn't. I remember.
Yeah, you'd like to talk to Henrietta, wouldn't you? All right, here's your phone number. Call her up and tell her where you are.
Oh, well, I don't think I could. I'm too frightened.
You've got to do something to help yourself. If you don't, by midnight, you might be a cold turkey.
Oh.
I'm sorry, just slipped out.
All right, I'll do it.
Well, he went and made the call. And when he returned, he said that a man had answered who said Henrietta would come down and pick Tom up. He didn't want to wait, but I sat on him. The pilgrim brought us a dish of turkey dinner, saying he couldn't stand food himself, and we munched a spell. In a little while, a limousine pulled up in front of the mission with someone in back whom I couldn't see. The chauffeur stepped out and came in inquiring for Tom Turkey. It was Captain John Smith himself. When he saw me, a look of shocked surprise came over his unhandsome face. Hoping to catch him off balance, I drove at him. It was the liveliest thing that has happened at the Helping Hand Mission in years, and we had a good house, too. Money was even changing hands. When I heard the odds starting to go against me, I realized I'd better come up with something.
Here, use this, partner.
And I did. The bandy-legged pilgrim shoved his blunderbuss right in my hand. And I swung. Smith dropped like pheasant on the wing. I looked up. The passenger from the limousine was just coming in.
What's the meaning of this?
It means, Leander Luce, that you're not going to carve Tom Turkey up for your Thanksgiving insurance policy.
Hallelujah. Drumstick, anyone?
Period. End of report.
Sam, I don't understand.
Well, it's as plain as the cranberry stain on your dress, huh? Luce, as Henrietta's business manager, had her power of attorney. And secretly, he kept making the payments on Tom Turkey's insurance policy.
Oh, and then he'd collect for Henrietta and keep the money himself.
Effie, sometimes your lightning mind frightens me. Now, go type that up. 3 chimes mean good times on NBC. There's fun and laughs with the chimes later tonight when Ed Gardner stars in Duffy's Tavern. As usual, Duffy won't be there, but Archie the manager will definitely be on hand to serve his blue plate special of grilled English language. This Sunday, the big show comes your way again, Tallulah will be your hostess, and the stars include Fred Allen, Jack Carson, Ed Wynn, Meredith Wilson, and many, many more. It's The Big Show, Sunday on NBC.
Sam, the man who killed Al Crusoe and tried to kill you, was his name really Captain John Smith?
Now, Wissy, could we have a Thanksgiving caper without a Captain John Smith? It wouldn't be right.
That's a coincidence, wasn't it?
Well, if you promise not to tell anyone.
Oh.
His real name was Michael Giuseppe Yablonsky Smith. I called him John for short.
You're so kind.
Are we going over to your mother's for cold turkey snacks?
Well, all right, but I don't think there'll be much left.
Oh?
You see, my cousin Judy couldn't find a little boy. And Mother phoned and said they just found him. He was inside the turkey, eating his way out.
Effie, is there no way to curb that tongue of yours?
There's one way.
Well, come here.
Oh, good night, Sam.
Good night, sweetheart. The Adventures of Sam Spade are produced, edited, and directed by William Spear. Sam Spade was played by Stephen Dunn. Lorene Tuttle is Effie. Script for tonight's adventure by Larry Roman and John Michael Hayes. Musical scoring by Lud Gluskin, conducted by Robert Armbruster. Join us again next week, same time, for another adventure with Sam Spade. Hear the magnificent Montague, then visit Duffy's Tavern on NBC.